Yeah, now it's better. Can you all hear me? Can you confirm, please? Online? Mani, Ganesh, okay. Takes time for this to settle down. 10 it says here. Okay. Mohini, Azam, fine. All of you, good afternoon. Link is not accessible. You can try again. Ram, if you're online, can you repost the link of the drive? Azad Parinda, good afternoon. Anu, good afternoon. Okay. So fine, thanks for joining in. Current affair is something that bothers all of you, I know. But when it comes to actual studying, okay, there is a process that you have to go through. Online, offline, both of you. So, karo isko kaam, be with us for 1 or 2 months and see how your preparation starts changing. Right? So, last week we had environment coverage. Today we have economy coverage. Economy of month of April plus some parts of May. Okay? Kunal, that's okay, no problem. So, economy class will be taken by Banke sir. Some of you have already have interacted with him in the reading sessions we have had. So, tomorrow also we have reading session, the way we always have. I'll start off with some topics. Banke sir comes in another 2 or 3 topics. Okay, so happy learning. And you have any doubts to ask him. All the focus is on current affairs completion, but conceptual issues hoga, samajh mein nahi aaya, please feel free. Okay, of course, some things you have to wait, okay, for the topics to be taught. And there is economy channel in Telegram. I hope all of you have joined that. Just search Economy Edukemy and join that. So a lot of doubts can be cleared there also if you want to clear. Okay? Hello Dharam Teja, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Right. So Asmit, hi. Yeah, welcome all of you. I'll give it to him. And be patient, though we try finishing in 2.5 hours. If the class spills over, okay, khatam karke jana. Har din struggle kar rahe ho about current affairs acha hai. Give yourself 1 day of time to consolidate, and that's a lot of work. अपने आप इतना नहीं पढ़ पाएंगे if you will try it on your own. ठीक है? चलो, all the best.
Okay. Okay, so today we'll be covering economy-related current affairs, okay, from April and May, and we'll try to cover 2 or 3 topics in detail, which has high chance of coming in mains examination, and then some topics, 6 or 7 topics, we will see only the essential things which can be asked in prelims examination. Okay, we will try not to overdo. Okay, we have to crack the exam. We don't have to become economists here. Okay, yes, we have to develop the love for the subject, so that when you will become the civil servants, you can build on that. Okay, so that's that. One problem with current affairs is one problem with current affairs is, okay, link is still not Avnish, link is still not accessible. वहाँ कॉल करके बोल दीजिए कि लिंक जो है वो फिर से डाल दें, लिंक काम नहीं कर रहा. ठीक है? Okay. Okay, we'll pin it on YouTube and other platforms. Okay. So एक बड़ा समस्या क्या होता है current affairs के साथ? कि new topics are coming every time, and then you are covering it, you are reading it, and eventually you lose track of what you have read, what you have not read. Okay, the same topic keep on repeating that also happens. Like say in coming 1 year, hardly, if we will talk about economy, hardly 2025 इतना भी ज़्यादा बोल रहे हैं, brand new topics will come. Okay, most of the topics will be same topics. The problems world is facing, it's largely same what the world was facing 5 years before. Maybe because of technological advancements, some new type of challenges are emerging, but the basic problems related to money supply, poverty, equality, employment, you will see basic things are same. Okay, so how to manage that? One way is you should have folders, okay, separate folders, topic-wise folders. Whenever you are covering something, just put it in that folder. Like say you have a folder on, say, employment and growth. Okay, whenever you are reading anything, you are making notes on anything, be it offline notes, online notes, whatever you are making, just put it in that folder so that you can keep track of things. Okay, so suppose today we are going to cover, say, inequality. Okay, inequality, challenges, solutions. Okay, now the problem of inequality will come again in news. Okay, maybe not this month, after 2 months. Okay, again some report will come, again there will be that. Again we will cover it. Okay, so for you to reduce your own efforts, you can see, अच्छा मेरे पास है, वहाँ पर है. So you can just add कि 90% things are same. This report have 2 extra points. Just add 2 extra points. Okay, so slowly after few months, you will have the consolidated things. Okay, and how to do it here? So that in economy we have, say, prelims wala topics, which are mostly conceptual topics. Okay, so conceptual topics you can make one part of notes. So topics like national income, topics like inflation, balance of payment, government budgeting. So these topics are more important for prelims examination. Okay, the question comes there. And then there are topics which are more important for mains examination. Okay, good part for mains examination is कि syllabus में बहुत अच्छे से UPSC ने लिख दिया है. ठीक है? Of course, the current developments on that is asked. You have to use new data. All those things are fine, but issues are written in the syllabus itself. Okay? This is unlike prelims examination. In prelims there is the Indian economy. देख लो भाई क्या पढ़ना है. ठीक है? In mains, they have specifically mentioned the topics. And if you will see previous year questions of mains, so go back home, try to find 2-3 hours of time, okay? Try to categorize questions already asked in mains, and you will be surprised that yes, all the time we talk about that UPSC is very unpredictable, kuch bhi poochta hai, okay? Anything under the sun can be asked, okay? But more than 75, I'll say more than 80% of the questions in mains examination I'm talking about, mains economy, okay? I'm not talking about internal security or others. Mains economy, more than 80% of times you will see that whatever the question UPSC is asking, you will find exactly same term in the syllabus, okay? Food processing challenges, UPSC asked question directly mentioned in the syllabus. Okay, so challenges related to say employment in India, directly mentioned in syllabus. Employment, okay. Inclusive growth, directly mentioned in the syllabus. Okay, of course, within inclusive growth there are lots of things. Okay, I'm not saying कि inclusive growth पता चल गया हाँ भाई हो गया syllabus हो गया. Lots of things within inclusive growth, but at least you know that you have to read inclusive growth, right? So that is a big help. So do that, okay? Make categorizations, okay? Go to mains syllabus, okay? Make folders accordingly for mains. Mainly it's growth and employment related. Inclusive growth हो गया. You can even write it down, okay? कि क्या-क्या ऐसे folders बनाना है या mains में लिखा हुआ है, ठीक है? Then you have government budgeting. Then उसके बाद आपको आ जाएगा agriculture का 2 portion है, okay? And then we have food processing, land reforms, infrastructure, okay, and then investment models. Okay? So that is mains syllabus. So once you will have folders like that, you will keep on arranging things in that folder. After 10-12 months, your life will suddenly be sorted. ठीक है, आप भाग नहीं रहे होंगे. It does not mean that you don't have to add anything, but you have something to work on. आप उसको improve कर पाएंगे. ठीक है, that is that. Now we'll move to the topic of today. Okay, ज्ञान बहुत हो गया. ठीक है, शुरू करते हैं. तो आज का हमारा टॉपिक क्या क्या है? We will talk about. I'll just show you the topics. Okay. So we will be covering these topics. Okay. Economic inequality, meaning, impact, cause, and solution. Okay. So mainly we are doing this because Inequality Lab report came and it showed that the inequality in India is more than even as it was in the time of colonial periods. Okay. So because of that we will be talking about that. And we are also covering this because inclusive growth is especially mentioned in the syllabus. Okay. Then India Employment Report 2024, we'll be talking about that. Okay. What is the status of employment in India? Okay. What are the major issues, themes, okay, and possible solutions? And then we will talk about imported inflation, Financial Service Institution Bureau, and all these things. Okay, we'll come one by one. Okay. Okay. Now let's get started. Okay. Economic inequality. So you can keep on taking notes from whatever I'm writing. Okay. Usually my approach is that first, getting into the topic of the day, we will discuss some basic things about that, and then we will just see कि इस बार क्या था, why we are reading it now. Okay, that's that. Okay. Economic inequality, it basically means that how wealth is distributed. Okay, that is wealth creation, and then there is wealth distribution. You can say wealth, income, anything. Okay, both are related concepts, not exactly same. Somebody may be earning nothing, but may be very wealthy because of inheritance. Okay, somebody maybe they are earning lakhs, but wealth is not much because the first generation workers. Okay, so but they are related things. Okay, income and wealth. First stage जो है होता है, that is wealth creation. Wealth is created, and then wealth is distributed, and in this process, inequality it manifests. How? Wealth and wealth creation, matlab, when we talk about GDP, okay, this is largely we mean by wealth creation. Okay, when we have how much we are producing or how much income it is being generated, and then how income is shared. How it happens? The basic rudimentary thing is GDP or income generation. कोई भी या any production process, ठीक है, anything, all these things are same. ठीक है, whatever you produce, that is your income. Okay, income, production, GDP, all these things जो है वो एक दूसरे का synonymous है. ठीक है, आप जितना काम करेंगे, प्रोड्यूस करेंगे, वो आपका इनकम होगा. ठीक है. Now, प्रोडक्शन कैसे होगा? Have you heard of factors of production? Right? Factors of production सबने सुना है? Okay, ठीक है. So factors of production. Okay, anybody attending online, you can just write down कि what are the factors of production? Right. Okay. So yeah, yes. You'll get PDF. Mohini, don't worry. You'll get PDF. Okay. ठीक है. Factors of production में जो है land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Okay. Now, this is there in, I think, class 8th or 9th NCERT, okay? Very basic concept, but this is the fundamental, okay? Yahan se, whoever have these things, they will be able to produce, okay? And whoever have these things, they will benefit from the production process, okay? The production process, who can produce, who can participate in the production process? If you can participate in the production process, then only you can have the part in that income, okay? Within all these things, as a land ho gaya, that is land ownership, okay? So you know that in India there is inequality of land ownership, okay? So this inequality in land ownership will lead to inequality in income, right? So we know that more than 85% of the farmers in India are small and marginal, right? And so the rest 15% are relatively bigger farmers, medium farmers, and larger farmers. Okay. So the income generated in agriculture, a major part will go to larger farmers who form a smaller percentage. Okay. And these 85% of the people, they will get lesser, okay, because they have less land. Okay. So inequality here will lead to inequality in income. Similarly, labor. Okay. So labor is something which you do not own. Nobody owns your labor. In a capitalist model, at least we believe so, that it's your choice. Okay. But maybe I want to work in Google. I want to earn millions. But do Google need me? Google will need me only when I will bring something on the table. Do I have the skills required? Okay. If I have the skills required, that's fine. If I don't have, then I won't get money. Okay. So labor is related to human capital. Okay. This is related to human capital. Human capital means health, skill, education. Okay. So those who will have human capital, those who will have skills, health, education, they will get more part from the production process, right? So even though country's economy is increasing, even though GDP of India is increasing, who will benefit more from that? Those people who have this human capital. Okay, the rest of the India will not be proportionately benefited. Okay, so inequality in human capital will lead to inequality in income, right? You can just write inequality in income. Okay, and so यहाँ का inequality यहाँ जाएगा, यहाँ का inequality यहाँ जाएगा. Same. This is the theoretical concept. जहाँ पर कि ये सारा system based है. Once you understand this, then you yourself can start thinking. Then you yourself will come up with the solutions. You yourself can see the challenges. Okay. Third is capital. Okay. So capital is like fixed assets. Okay. जिसके पास fixed assets है, the one who owns the factory, the ones who owns the machineries. Okay. Then maybe if you'll include, when we say capital, generally we mean physical capital. Okay. But for now, let's also include money. Okay. Generally, when we say capital, we mean physical capital. Okay. Let's say money also. तो पैसा से पैसा बनता है, right? So those persons who already have wealth, they will generate more income without doing much work themselves. Because एक famous किताब है कि पैसा जो money, I'm missing the name, okay? The money breeds money, something like that. Okay? So inequality in capital ownership will lead to inequality in income. And entrepreneurship. This is something more hazy thing. Okay, entrepreneurship. Somebody who do not have much skills, they also can suddenly become jolly chai wala and things like that. Okay, so entrepreneurship is something very tricky thing. to define, how to define that. Okay, somebody, you can just open a momo shop and you can earn more than anybody else. So this is tricky. Okay, but then entrepreneurship can also be developed. So inequalities here leads to inequality in income or inequality in wealth. Okay, so this thing you can just note it down. Okay, that's that. Okay, okay. So that was the basic relationship. Okay. Now there are two types of two important curves and concepts related to inequality, which can be asked in exam. Okay, some basic curves. Curve मतलब ग्राफ हो गया, related to inequality. This is very important for prelims examination. मेंस में नहीं पूछने वाला है, ठीक है. तो एक तो हो गया लॉरेंज कर्व. ओके, सो या स्पेलिंग ठीक है. आलो, अच्छा, okay, Lorentz curve. Lorentz curve, it just says ki what percentage of people have what percentage of income. Okay, so in Lorentz curve what we do, ये x axis पर percentage of total household, and here we have percentage of total income or wealth. Again, I am repeating it, income and wealth are related concepts, but not same concepts. Okay, income means इस साल में आपने कितना कमाया. Okay, that's a flow concept. ठीक है. Wealth means accumulated income. ठीक है, accumulated wealth. Okay, they are related but not same. So percentage of total wealth मतलब let's say कि 10% of India's households owns what percent of income? 20% of India's household earns what percent? Similarly, 30, 40, 50, 100%. Okay. Ideally, in a perfectly equal society, what should happen? If you will pick any random 10% of the people, they should have how much percent of country's wealth? 10%, right? अगर परफेक्ट इक्वालिटी का जमाना है तो अगर आप इंडिया में कहीं भी 10% पीपल को पकड़ोगे तो उसके पास देश का 10% वेल्थ होना चाहिए. सिमिलरली 20%, 30%, मतलब इक्वल जितना परसेंटेज ऑफ हाउस होल्ड दैट मच परसेंटेज ऑफ वेल्थ शुड बी देयर. ओके, सो इट्स लाइक दिस. This is perfect equality curve. This is perfect equality. So Lorentz curve tells you that on x-axis, if you will keep a Lorentz curve, gives you a relation of distribution of wealth or income versus distribution of households. Okay, this is Lorentz curve. Okay. एग्जाम में आपसे कैसे पूछेगा, इतना डिटेल में एग्जाम में जाएगा नहीं. एग्जाम में कभी कभी वो सिंपल बेसिक पूछ देगा कि लॉरेंज कर्व इज रिलेटेड टू व्हाट. इवन इफ यू रिमेंबर कि लॉरेंज कर्व आपने कुछ इनइक्वालिटी में पढ़ा था, तो हाई चांस कि आपका क्वेश्चन सही हो जाएगा. ओके, सो फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग पर्पस आई एम एक्सप्लेनिंग दिस, बट नॉर्मली इन यूपीएससी तो जस्ट इफ यू कैन पिक दैट इससे रिलेटेड है हो जाएगा. और इफ यू कैन पिक दैट परसेंटेज ऑफ टोटल हाउस होल्ड एंड परसेंटेज ऑफ दिस, आपका काम बन जाएगा. Perfect equality is बीच से गया 45 डिग्री. Okay, let's say कि 10% of the people earns say only 5% of the income. फिर कैसा जाएगा? 10% of the people earns only 5%. यहाँ जाएगा. Okay, slowly it will go like this, right? क्योंकि जितना कम होएगा, यहाँ पर 20% ऑफ द पीपल दे आर नॉट अर्निंग 20%, 20% of the earning people may be earning 8%. So curve will become like that. Okay? If inequality will increase, curve will become like this. Okay? तो बढ़ता जाएगा ऐसे करके. ठीक है? तो overall क्या हो गया कि Lorenz curve tells you how unequal society is. That's it. Related to Lorenz curve is a concept called Gini coefficient. This is very, very important, already asked by UPSC before. Okay, so इसको लिख लीजिए आप लोग. Okay, do write it in notebook. Okay, good afternoon everybody. Good afternoon everybody. Okay, do write it here. Okay, do write it in your notebook. Okay, Gini coefficient बहुत important है. Gini coefficient जो है वो basically it is derived from Lorenz curve. How it is derived, we are not going to the detail of it. ठीक है, ratio होता है दो parts का. Okay. But what you should remember is, again, Gini coefficient, it tells us about the equality or inequality in the society. Gini coefficient का value जो है वो 0 to 1 के बीच में होता है. Okay? If Gini coefficient is 0, that means society is perfectly equal or perfectly unequal. 0 Gini coefficient means, anybody have any idea? 0 Gini coefficient. Okay. Ganesh is saying unequal. Anybody else will say anything? 0 Gini coefficient. 0 means perfectly equal. ठीक है? 0 मतलब बेसिकली Gini coefficient होता क्या है? एग्जाम के लिए काम का नहीं है. Gini coefficient मतलब ये एरिया अंडर दिस कर्व डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल एरिया ऑफ द ट्रायंगल. तो एरिया अंडर दिस कर्व जब 0 होगा, जब ये 1 के ऊपर आएगा, दैट मीन्स सब सही है, perfect equality है. Okay, so Gini coefficient 0 means perfect equality. ठीक है, मतलब everyone has same share, same wealth, same income, wealth. Again, it's a fantasy. Okay, it's not going to happen. Okay, ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि सबके पास सेम हो. Okay, another fantasy is Gini coefficient of 1, and this means perfect inequality. तो यूपीएससी जो प्रीवियस ईयर शायद लगता है 10-12 साल पहले पूछा था, उससे भी ज्यादा पीछे, तो Gini coefficient 0 का क्या मतलब है, 1 का क्या मतलब है, ये पूछा था. ठीक है, perfect inequality means one person has all the wealth and everybody else is begging. Okay, so again that is also another utopia. Okay, that also not utopia, dystopia. यूटोपिया हुआ कि एकदम फैंटासी वर्ल्ड सब कुछ अच्छा है, डिस्टोपिया हुआ कि एकदम सभी बर्बाद हो गया. ठीक है, तो दिस इज यूटोपिया, दिस इज डिस्टोपिया. ठीक है, ऐसा कभी होगा नहीं. ठीक है, लेकिन एग्जाम में आपसे पूछा जाएगा. ओके, 0 and 1. As Gini coefficient increases, means inequality is increasing or decreasing? ठीक है, ये फंड मतलब इसका ये इंटरप्रिटेशन अभी तक नहीं पूछा है. यू कैन राइट इट. ओके, so as Gini coefficient is increasing, ठीक है, Gini increasing, this means inequality is increasing. Okay, क्योंकि 0 जो है that is perfect equality, 1 is perfect inequality. ये फंडा आपका हो गया तो आपका ये चीज खत्म हो गया. ठीक है, so this was one thing, one curve. Second curve is Kuznets curve. These curves are very important. Kuznets curve, ठीक है, बार बार घुमा फिरा करके इंफॉर्मेशन पूछा जाएगा. और इन मेंस these things have show off effect, right? कि अगर आपको पता है, आपको क्वेश्चन इज ऑन inequality, you can say according to this curve. So that just gives you some brownie point. Okay, so Kuznets curve says what? Kuznets curve is, this is very interesting thing. Kuznets curve, it says on x-axis we have per capita income, and on y-axis we have inequality. Okay. Okay, tell me one thing, when per capita income is very low, inequality will be more or less very low. लोग जंगल में रह रहे हैं, imagine that scenario. ठीक है, किसी के पास कुछ नहीं है, सभी जंगल में रहते हैं, फल फूल तोड़ते खाते हैं, एग्रीकल्चर भी इन्वेंट नहीं हुआ है, ठीक है, nothing before pre-agriculture time. Okay. In that case, the chance of having inequality is very low. Okay, because nobody wants anything. Okay, so Kuznets curve says that relationship between inequality and per capita income is like this. Okay, again यहाँ पर क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ सकता है कि Kuznets curve किससे रिलेटेड है? You already know कि Kuznets curve is related to inequality. That's one set of information. If you know that, आपकी जिंदगी आसान हो जाएगी. Second, Kuznets curve is related to per capita income and inequality. These two set of things is important for exam. Next 2-3 minutes, whatever I am going to say will not help you in exam. Okay, that will just help you increase your thinking. Okay, which will help you in mains examination. What this curve says, Kuznets curve says that initially as per capita income increases, inequality will also increase. Okay, so initially when economy will start growing, people will start coming from village to urban areas. Those people will come to urban areas, maybe they will get more money. People who are left in rural areas, who do not have land also, they will, the difference between the people who migrated to urban areas and have got some skills and the difference between the poor people in village, that will widen. So initially, as per capita income increases, people will start migrating to better places, and the difference between those who migrated and those who remained at the place where the chances of economic developments were less, the difference between them will increase. Okay, so initially inequality will increase. Then Kuznets says that, but after some level of economic development, now government have money, taxation ho gaya, people have also some power over the government. Okay, people will do protest movement. Okay, so government will start investing more. Government will start opening schools and colleges for even people who are in rural areas, even people who are not very good in those people whose per capita income is very low. Government will do things for them also. Okay, so slowly, then they will start coming up the ladder. जो पहले गरीब थे वो भी ऊपर उठना शुरू हो जाएंगे, and then slowly what will happen? Inequality will reduce. Okay, that is the idea of Kuznets curve. Okay, of course this is one of the theories. Not everybody agrees with that. Okay, the people say that United States, it's a world's largest economy. Okay, but it has a high level of inequality. And if you see Nordic countries or many European countries, like say France, they have lower level of inequality. How Kuznets curve will justify that? That the two economies with that much high level of economic development, one is still very developed, one still have very high level of inequality, and other have lesser level of inequality. So Kuznets curve do not explain it completely. It just says that there is some framework, okay, and it says that some level of inequality may be natural. Okay, that's that. तो एग्जाम में आपसे इतना जाएगा, ठीक है. चलिए यहाँ पर अब काम इसका फंडामेंटल बैकग्राउंड खत्म हो गया. नाउ विल कम बैक टू द टॉपिक जो कि हमारा वेल्थ इनइक्वालिटी लैब का जो रिपोर्ट है, ठीक है, इनइक्वालिटी लैब रिपोर्ट. नाउ यू विल हैव सम डेटा एंड okay, World Inequality Lab report. Now this report is very important both for prelims and mains examination. World Inequality Lab report 2022. Okay, it's 2022, but the report was released in 2024 only. Okay, it basically says that income inequality and wealth inequality in India is at all-time high level. Okay, what is that level? We'll just see data. Okay, so it says when we talk about income inequality, anybody have any idea that top say top 1% of India's population earns what percent of total income? Roughly, mota moti kitna percent? 60. You are talking about wealth. Okay, in wealth it's around 65%. Okay, no. Even 65%. Even in wealth it's 40%. Okay, so not that. Income inequality says that top 1% earns about 22% of total income. When I am writing data, I am not worrying too much about decimal points, right? You also don't have to worry that much about decimal points. उतना ज़्यादा. Normally UPSC prelims में भी उस level पे नहीं game खेलता है. Okay. So when UPSC even plays game with data, there is considerable difference. Okay. So if you have some idea, आप बोल दोगे गलत है. ठीक है. तो एकदम वो ये 0.5 था, ये 0.4 था, उसके पीछे नहीं भागना है. Okay. So don't worry that much about that. रफ आपको आइडिया होना चाहिए. तो टॉप 1% of India's population have 22% of the total income. Okay. Now these things you can write in your notebook. ठीक है. Okay. And then top 10% have about 57% of total income. Now you can see the thing. Okay. Top 10% of India's total, top 10% of India's people have more than half, almost 60% of India's total income. तो साल में जितना इनकम जनरेट होता है, अगर 100 रुपया इंडिया जनरेट करता है, तो 57 rupees goes to top 10%. Even in top 10%, top 1% gets 22%. Okay, I don't have data right now here, but if you go to top 0.01%, you will find that most, even in this 22%, about 15% goes to top 0.01%. ठीक है, तो that's that. Top 10% में तो most of us, आप जिनको भी यहाँ जान रहे हैं, सब top 10% में है. Okay, because top 10% का level ही बहुत कम है. Okay, but that's not too much. Okay, so yeah, and bottom 50% have, any guess? Bottom 50% have how much? Bottom 50% of India earns what percent of the total income? देश अगर 100 रुपया जनरेट कर रहा है, it's about 15%. ठीक है, बाकी का जो बीच का 40% है उनके पास आ गया. ठीक है, मिडिल क्लास nobody cares about, तो वहाँ पर उनका एनालिसिस अभी हम नहीं करेंगे, ऊपर नीचे का एनालिसिस कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो bottom 50% have 15% of income. Okay, so you can imagine the scenario. Okay. Okay. So this is the status of income inequality. When we go to wealth, this is much more concerning. When we talk about wealth inequality, top 1%, top 10%, bottom. Anybody would like to guess top 1% के पास कितना wealth है? Anybody would like to guess? Top 1% wealth, India का जो total wealth है, what percent of wealth top 1% of Indians have? Just तुक्का मारने का try कीजिए. 40% exactly. ठीक है, so it's exactly about 40% of wealth they have. Okay, so 40% of total wealth. Okay, top 10% have about 65% of total wealth, and bottom 50%, they have what percent of total wealth? About 6.5%. Okay, so bottom half of India, देश की आधा जनता के पास 10% से भी कम wealth है. Okay, so this is 6.5% of total wealth. और यहाँ से inequality जो है वो perpetuate करता है. Inequality breeds inequality. अगर wealth ही नहीं है तो फिर आगे का कैसे कमाएगा? ठीक है, wealth नहीं है, that means they will go to bad schools, they will have bad nutrition in childhood. Okay, the pregnant lady will not have good nutrition to eat. Okay, all these things will lead to reproduction of the inequality. ठीक है, तो जो गरीब था उसका बच्चा भी गरीब होगा, फिर इसको कहते हैं इंटरजेनरेशनल नेचर ऑफ इनइक्वालिटी, वो चलता जाएगा. ओके, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस नेचर. ओके, तो इसको ब्रेक करने का कैसे ब्रेक किया जाए, देयर आर ways, we'll talk. Okay, so that means wealth inequality is very high. If you compare wealth inequality and income inequality, you see that wealth inequality is more. Okay, because wealth inequality leads to income inequality and फिर वो चलता है. Okay. This data, one तो they can ask in prelims directly. ठीक है, डायरेक्टली पूछेगा. इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि आपको 6.5 याद रहना चाहिए. वो एग्जाम में कैसे बोल देगा कि बॉटम 50% हैव 20% ऑफ वेल्थ. ठीक है, तो आपको क्लियर हो जाएगा, अच्छा 20 नहीं है यार, बहुत कम था. ऐसा नहीं करेगा कि यहाँ 6.5 है तो वो 7.5 दे के चेक नहीं करेगा. ओके, ये काम मोस्टली एटलीस्ट ये इतना ट्रस्ट कर सकते. ठीक है, अब कभी एक बार कर दे अलग बात है, पर जनरली यूपीएससी उस लेवल पे गेम नहीं खेलता है. ठीक है, तो यू शुड हैव दिस आइडिया कि 10% से कम है. Okay, your job will be done. And in mains examination, what you will do, whenever there will be question on inequality, you can just quote one of the data. सारा नहीं, mainly bottom 50% वाला जो है, this you can just quote. ठीक है कि ये है, तो that will project you as somebody who knows things. आपको यही एक डेटा पता है, but that will project you as well. Okay, clear? So these things should be in your notes. Okay, and you can see that the wealth inequality ज़्यादा है. And if you will see everybody have the graph, I think. Okay, so income inequality is high, wealth inequality is high, income inequality is more than in colonial period, and the bottom 50% of national wealth share. So what you can see, bottom 50% decrease हो रहा है. ठीक है, this is 1962. Okay, so more than 11%, bottom 50% का wealth में share more than 11% था in 1962. And then you can see that there has been a decline till 1982. Decline was slow, right? Till 1982 decline was slow, gradual था. ठीक है, in income we will see कि income में inequality have even reduced. So from independence till 1980s, early 1980s, income inequality reduced. ठीक है, but after 1982, as economy started to open up, and more so after 1991 reforms, okay, suddenly inequality exploded in India. Okay, so this is one thing. You just have to you just have the sense of the data. ठीक है, मेंस एग्जामिनेशन में आप क्विकली ऐसे बना करके आप you can show this. Okay, you don't have to worry about the data कि क्या डेटा था, वहाँ पर क्या था. The moment examiner will see the curve, क्या जा रहा है वो समझ गया कि आपको पता है. ठीक है, you don't have to write numbers, just write कि यहाँ 1980s होगा, हाँ यहाँ से ज़्यादा तेजी से गिरा है तो it will be that. That's it. So, उतना आपको पता होना चाहिए. ठीक है, that was कि bottom 50% की हालत खराब हुई है. Okay, long run income inequality in India. Okay, long run income inequality. Okay, who somebody is asking who is okay, there is Thomas Piketty, there is famous economist. Okay, so Thomas Piketty publishes it. There is no one institute. Okay, the wealth inequality lab, global wealth inequality lab. Okay, तो वो लैब ही है, वही पब्लिश करता है. ठीक है, जो रिपोर्ट का नाम है वही लैब का नाम है. The economist related is Thomas Piketty. Okay, very unlikely. UPSC mainly focuses on institutions, so that's why I did not talk about all that. Long run income inequality in India. So again, here you can see same thing, and these things I'm showing you because you can use in mains examination. Again, you don't have to worry that much about numbers. So just know, you can see here 1992 kahan gaya. This is 1992, okay, and this is 1982. So and this is top 10%. This is middle 40%, and this is bottom 50%. Okay, here is year, and here is share of national income percentage. So what you can see, top 10%, note at top 10%, top 10% ऐसा जा रहा है. Okay, so inequality increases after economy started to open up. Okay, that's one thing. Now this can be asked in prelims examination. You will see previous year prelims questions. 1991, that forms a inflection point in our economy. Okay, LPG reform happened. So what things changed after that? That has been asked in prelims examination and in mains as well. 1991 से पहले क्या था, बाद में क्या था? Okay, तो related to employment question पूछा जा चुका है. Related to income जो है, inequality अभी नहीं पूछा गया है. Okay? So it is waiting to be asked. Okay, so just you have to remember कि बढ़ गया. ठीक है, यहाँ पे. That's it. Now why inequality is bad? Yeah, why inequality is a concern? Anybody would say me? What is the problem? Many people put forward this one argument that yes, inequality is more, but even poor people of 20 years ago, if you compare poor people of 20 years ago and poor people now, the poor people now are better off, right? So this is one argument which is to a degree valid, okay, that yes, inequality is increasing. पहले इसके पास 100 रुपया था, इसके पास 1000 रुपया था, अब इसके पास 10 लाख रुपया है, लेकिन इसके पास भी 10,000 रुपया है. Okay, so even though inequality is increasing, poor people's real income is increasing, so they are better off. Why to cry? Okay, so that's one argument. So one, though there is a moral, there can be a moral thing, you know, everybody should have equal stake. Okay, that's moral. There is then there are other economic arguments, social arguments as well. To say कि why inequality is a concern. This is very important for mains examination. Okay, mains में वो 15 नंबर का क्वेश्चन रहेगा. एक बोल देगा कि tell me about the status of inequality in India, why it is a problem, और उसके बाद आपसे solution मांगेगा. ठीक है, या फिर what steps government have taken to solve that. So that question can be asked. Okay. So why inequality is a concern? Number one is IMF have found that increasing inequality is bad for GDP growth. If inequality is high in a society, GDP growth will be low. GDP growth rate will be low. Okay. So again, you may ask why, what is that? Okay, we will not go into too much detail, but the basic thing is, if bottom 50% have less money, then they will go less into the market. That is the basic thing. आपके पॉकेट में पैसा नहीं होगा तो आप मार्केट कम जाओगे. मार्केट कम जाओगे तो फिर इकोनॉमी का डिमांड कम होगा. So that's the basic. Okay, तो IMF says, उसका रिपोर्ट का एक नाम था, think, yeah, income inequality and inclusive growth. That's the name of the report. Okay, you can write name of the report. IMF in income inequality. Okay, these things you can just write. मैं बाद में फिर एक बार quickly dictate कर दूंगा, but that takes lot more time. So just keep writing it at present only. Okay. So income inequality and inclusive growth. This is the name of the report. IMF says in this that increasing inequality has harmful impact on economic growth. That means those who worry about GDP growth, they must also worry about inequality. ऐसा नहीं है कि GDP growth होता रहेगा, inequality कुछ भी जाए. Okay? It will not happen. That's what IMF is saying. That's one. हो गया आपका एक point. Okay? The relationship between inequality and economic growth. The second point is why inequality is a concern. One is यहाँ. Okay. The second point of that only, it says that as inequality increases, the crime rate and the social unrest, that also increases. Okay. So World Bank did a survey, 160 countries survey, and they found that as Gini coefficient of the country was increasing, the crime rate and social unrest was also increasing. Now this is biggest point to counter those who say कि क्या हुआ, जो गरीब है उसका भी पैसा बढ़ रहा है, जो गरीब है उसका पैसा तो बढ़ रहा है, बट उसका साथ में एस्पिरेशन इज ऑल्सो इंक्रीजिंग, एस्पिरेशन भी बढ़ रहा है. पहले वो नमक रोटी खा के खुश रहता था, अब उसको नमक रोटी दोगे तो मारेगा. ठीक है. नाउ दे आर एस्पायरिंग फॉर मोर. ओके. सो मे बी यू वांट 500 रुपीज पिज्जा, बट दैट गाय ऑल्सो वांट 50 रुपीज का पिज्जा. ओके. सो दे आर ऑल्सो लुकिंग एट द टेलीविजन की पिज्जा कुछ होता है, दे ऑल्सो वांट टू टेस्ट इट. ओके. सो increasing inequality leads to, there is something called relative deprivation. One thing is called absolute deprivation and another is relative deprivation. If your neighbor is earning much more than you and you see that you are working harder, you will feel that anger inside you, and then you will start, maybe you will try to snatch things from him. आप चोरी डकैती करोगे. Maybe if there is a big group, then Naxalism may happen. Okay, then people will come on the street, they will protest. Okay, so for example, the biggest like the movements going on in India, okay, the farmer protest. Okay, that is the example some people quotes, that as condition of farmer is deteriorating, they are coming more on road to protest. Okay, because they are seeing that even somebody who is a clerk in a government organization, or even somebody who just passed 10th and started working in some company, okay, they are earning more than a relatively good farmer. So the farmer start realizing what is the point. Okay. Arab Spring in 2010, 2011, it happened in northeastern part. Okay, so that again leads to that. So again, ये हो गया कि increase in social, again this point is to write social unrest and crime, and this is World Bank's data. Okay, once you will get these things, तो आपका पूरा फंडा जो है वो कवर हो जाएगा. Okay, that's clear. Okay. Similarly, reduced trust in institutions. Okay, your trust in institutions start declining. You start, why you respect democracy, why you respect everything, because you think that eventually you will be benefited. Okay, either you, maybe your relatives, whoever, they will be benefited. If you slowly realize that you are not getting benefit out of it, then again you will come on road. Okay, so the trust in democratic institutions will go down if this thing will happen. So these are some of the points why inequality is bad. Okay, and then inequality breeds inequality. That again, if somebody is unequal, that means unequal access to education, unequal access to healthcare. Okay, so again, so inequality leads to in equal access to health care, education, skill, etc., which again leads to inequality. So that's why inequality is bad. Now we will say what is the solution. Okay, समस्या का समाधान क्या है? We saw all these things. Inequality is bad. We know a status of inequality now. See, once you will see these all these things, तो आपका ये inequality वाला फंडा जो आपका क्लियर हो जाएगा. उसके बाद कमिंग एक साल में मे भी आपको कुछ एडिशनल पॉइंट्स मिलेंगे जो कि आप ऐड करोगे, मोस्टली आपका कंटेंट बन जाएगा. सो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट ओके कि आप एक बार करके इसको ये हो गया, नाउ यू कैन just keep on adding it. Solution. So lots of debate in media during election also, okay, and on ways to tackle inequality. Okay, so you have seen political leaders talking about that, and this year's mains that is going to be a very hot topic. Okay, how to handle inequality. There are multiple approaches to handle that. Okay. One approach was redistribution of wealth. So again, it led to a lot of noise. Okay, redistribution of wealth. How redistribution of wealth? That crudely it means taking more from those who have more and then giving it or helping them who do not have it. ओके, तो रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूशन मतलब बस ये नहीं है कि आप मेरे से पैसा लेके बगल वाला मोमोज वाले को पैसा देती है. ओके, दैट मे बी वन थिंग, ओके, बट इट कैन हैव मोर. ओके, नो ऑल पॉइंट वाज नॉट फ्रॉम IMF रिपोर्ट. द फर्स्ट पॉइंट वाज फ्रॉम IMF, सेकंड पॉइंट वाज फ्रॉम वर्ल्ड बैंक, एंड द रेस्ट ऑफ द पॉइंट्स वर generic in nature. Okay, so redistribution of wealth by progressive taxation. Okay, so the taxes should increase as your income will increase. Okay, so the richer people should be taxed more. That is one idea. Okay, so redistribution of wealth, progressive taxation. Then there was a lot of debate about inheritance tax. Okay, wealth tax. So those who are super rich, say top 1% or top 0.1%, okay, so from them there is idea that you take inheritance tax or take wealth tax, okay, not from those who are earning 20 lakh or 30 lakh or 40 lakh, from those who are earning in multi crores. Okay, holding tax, I don't know exactly, वो कुछ land का होता होगा. So I think वो land का holding tax होता होगा. Okay, so taxation should be progressive. Progressive means it should increase. Taxation, inheritance tax, wealth tax. So you take money from rich and then you give it to poor. How? Like say universal basic scheme. Yeah, universal basic income. Right? And then you can have social security schemes for them. Okay. Then you can have unemployment allowance from them. So redistribution of wealth has two parts. One is taken from relatively well-off section, and the second is giving back to those who do not have it. Okay, so this is one redistribution of wealth. Again, it has both positive and negative points. Okay, so there are people who support this. Those who support this says basic कि ऐसा होना ही चाहिए. ठीक है. Then the criticism is that if you will redistribute wealth, one problem is if you will increase taxation as income will increase. One is they say that this will also lead to reduction in demand. The moment you will increase taxes, people have less money. Okay, progressive taxation will reduce disposable income in the hand of relatively well-off people. So they will go to market less often. पहले आप बोल रहे थे कि जो सब bottom 50% है, they are going to market less often. Now the counter argument is if you will take money from rich, they will go to market less often. Okay, so is all these approaches what we are going to talk. We are going to talk 3 approaches to the reducing inequality. That is very, very important for exam. Okay, so in exam what they will do, either so they can ask you what are the approaches, or they will ask you how you will address inequality. You can write all 3, or they will pick one. They will say redistribution of wealth. Should it happen? Should it not happen? Okay, so then again you should have both points. Okay, so you should not act like a spokesperson to some political party. Okay, so again the one mantra for UPSC aspirants is your answer copy should not give away your vote. ठीक है, आप किसको वोट दे रहे हैं वो आपके आंसर कॉपी से बिल्कुल पता नहीं चलना चाहिए. ठीक है, this is very important. Okay, so redistribution of wealth, and the challenge is, or criticism of this point, अभी पहले वाला का क्रिटिसिज्म लिख रहे हैं. ठीक है, reduced demand फिर no incentive to take risk and invest. When investors, mostly rich people, they invest their money, of course they are taking risk. Okay, so they may succeed, they may not succeed. So if you are saying if you will succeed, we will take back your a percentage, they may not invest. And the problem is they may go to other countries. Okay, those who are not following this principle. Okay? So there may be out migration of super rich people, which is already happening in India. Okay, so last year there was this report that super rich people are already, high net worth individuals are already leaving India. Okay, so again, this no incentive to take risk and investors, and this will lead to further reduction in employment, because when people invest, jobs are created. Okay, this is the basic funda which okay, Ibrahim is saying that black money will increase. Yes, you are right, that black money can also increase. Okay, if you will increase tax, this is in general. If you will increase tax, they will not pay tax. Okay, they will hide income. Okay, so these are some of the challenges, some of the criticism. Okay, what are some of the government initiatives which already is leading to redistribution of wealth? Some of the government policies. आपको कुछ याद है कोई गवर्नमेंट का स्कीम? Yes, you can say MSP, but okay, MSP is not wrong. Okay, because you are giving farmer, and from where you are giving money? You are giving money from the taxpayers. Yes, so to extent, yes, you are right. Okay, we will cite some example which is more obvious. PM Kisan Yojana, right? In PM Kisan, what is happening? 6,000 rupees per month to farmer. Okay, so it's like you are taxing people, then you are giving those who you think need it. Okay, so government initiatives like PM Kisan, government initiatives like progressive direct tax, progressive income tax. You know that in India income tax is progressive. Okay, so that is one of the example of redistribution. So they say it's already happening. Okay, taxation is one of the major problems why inequality is happening. Okay, so this you should understand. PM Kisan, progressive income tax. Anybody have? Providing subsidies are example of that. In fact, PM Kisan is example of subsidies. Okay, then unemployment benefits. Okay, like छत्तीसगढ़ सरकार का बेरोजगारी भत्ता है, ठीक है, केरला का अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट अलायंस है. So all these things are same, redistribution. Okay, And it is important to remember the scheme, because if you'll see previous year question of mains, you'll see that at times they ask what are the government initiatives already taken. ओके तो ये क्वेश्चन जो है अक्सर वो एक मेन पार्ट रहेगा और नीचे में एक लगा देगा कि व्हाट आर द गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव्स, व्हाट स्टेप्स गवर्नमेंट हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन. सो दिस सम ऑफ द स्कीम्स यू मस्ट रिमेंबर. ठीक है, तो स्कीम इंश्योरेंस ऐड तब होगा जब आप जैसे पीएम ये वाला है फसल बीमा योजना, वेयर द गवर्नमेंट इज गिविंग प्रीमियम. ठीक है, या फिर जो आयुष्मान भारत है, ओके, where government is subsidizing the premium. So wherever government is subsidizing towards anything, that will part of redistribution. Anything. See, basic funda is you have to check whether government is taxing relatively well off and whether government is providing any kind of benefit. Okay, इसमें वो भी आ जाएगा कि जब फ्री का सरकारी स्कूल चल रहा है, दैट इज ऑल्सो हैपनिंग. ओके, बट ठीक है, सेकंड में आएंगे. ओके, जीएसटी इज रेग्रेसिव टैक्स. सो दिस इज दैट इज द क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ दिस गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव. सी, दिस इज द आइडिया, ओके, कि रिडिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करो. दिस इज क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ द आइडिया. ओके, नाउ दिस इज व्हाट गवर्नमेंट इज डूइंग. सो whenever there will be talk of redistribution, अगर इलेक्शन टाइम नहीं होता तो गवर्नमेंट विल से मैं तो पहले से कर रहा हूँ. ओके, देन देयर इज क्रिटिसिज्म ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव, एंड दैट क्रिटिसिज्म इज कि सी वी आर सेइंग कि देयर शुड बी मोर प्रोग्रेसिव टैक्सेशन. ओके, रिग्रेसिव टैक्सेशन मीन्स टेकिंग मोर परसेंटेज ऑफ वेल्थ फ्रॉम द रिच, टेकिंग मोर परसेंटेज ऑफ वेल्थ फ्रॉम द पुअर इज बैड. ओके, रिग्रेसिव टैक्सेशन का क्या मतलब हुआ? लाइक से जीएसटी में क्या होता है कि इफ यू विल गो टू ए रेस्टोरेंट एंड हैव अ बर्गर, यू विल पे से 5 रुपी जीएसटी. If Amitabh Bachchan will go to the same burger shop, he will also be charged 5 rupees GST. Okay, and there is no comparison between your income and Amitabh Bachchan's income. Okay, so this is regressive nature, that no matter what is the income, everybody is paying same tax. That means poor people are giving more percentage of their income in terms of that. That is the regressive nature. Okay, ये हो गया आपका regressive nature of the tax. Okay, so the criticism is, and in your notes it should be in this order. Okay, नहीं तो बाद में अगर आपको ऐसा लगेगा ना, अभी आपको लगेगा कि हाँ ठीक है सब समझ रहे हैं, 2 महीने के बाद अगर आपके पास नोट्स नहीं होगा तो फिर आप फिर से यही पढ़ रहे होंगे. ठीक है, you will repeat this, everything you will repeat again. Okay, so idea is it should be there in your notes. ठीक है, so that कि बाद में जाकर के आपको बस थोड़ा बहुत एडिशन करना पड़े. That is the whole idea. Okay, so notes is very important. Okay, और दिक्कत क्या है कि नॉर्मली नोट्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये 2-3 अटेम्प्ट के बाद जाके पता चलता है. ओके, नहीं तो जनरली लोगों को लगता है समझ में तो आ ही रहा है, सब ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है. बट जब एग्जाम 2 महीने के बाद है तो फिर मार्केट से नोट खरीदना शुरू करते हैं. ओके, बट देन यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू ग्रास्प एवरीथिंग एट द सेम टाइम. सो डू राइट. ओके, दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. ओके, and the criticism is criticism of government's approach. For that, more than 60% of total tax collected in India is from indirect tax. Okay, GST included. When we talk about only central government's tax, nowadays direct tax is more. Okay, nowadays more than 50% of the central government's tax is direct tax. Okay, so central government says देखो मेरा तो progressive taxation है, ठीक है, direct tax ज़्यादा हो रहा है. But when we combine central government and state government's taxes, then we find that more than 60% of the total tax collected by India by all levels of the government is regressive. Okay, and that is a criticism. या आप बोल रहे हो but कर नहीं रहे हो, ठीक है, दिख नहीं रहा है. So this more than 60% And in economy, data is important. Okay, you cannot write an answer without data in economy. क्योंकि अगर आप डेटा हटा दो तो बहुत सारा चीज़ एक पॉइंट के बाद कॉमन सेंसिकल लगने लगता है. लुक्स लाइक ठीक ही तो है, इनइक्वालिटी बढ़ रहा है, ठीक ही तो है, हाँ बढ़ रहा है, कोई भी बोल देगा बढ़ रहा है, आप यहाँ से वहाँ जाते हो दिखता है इनइक्वालिटी. The moment you give data, you differentiate yourself from others. The moment you talk about IMF, the moment you talk about World Bank, you give name of report. Okay, the moment you talk about a initiative of the government, you are differentiating yourself from those who are just writing मन की बात. ठीक है, क्योंकि बाकी चीज़ तो it's not like we are not doing some Nobel Prize material research here. ठीक है, वही है. ठीक है, ये सब बातें 50 साल पहले भी पता था. ठीक है, so how you will distinguish yourself is by writing more specifics. So focus more on that, and you will be able to write more specifics only when it will be in your notes and only when you will revise more. नहीं तो पक्का मानिए कि भूल जाएंगे. ठीक है, एकदम भूलेंगे. इसमें कोई, आप इंसान हो, ठीक है, हो सकता है कि एकदम 1 करोड़ लोग में एक होगा जिसका फोटोग्राफिक मेमोरी होगा. Generally you will forget. Okay, so criticism of government approaches, more than 60% of total tax collected. And when I say total tax collected, I mean central government plus state government combined. Okay, is from regressive tax. Okay, regressive indirect tax. Okay, clear? So this is so this was approach number 1. Redistribute karo. You know the merit, you know the criticism, you know what government is doing, then you know the criticism of the government's approach. Okay. Second क्या है? First was, we are going second of solution का second. First solution was redistribution. Okay. The second solution is create more equal opportunities for everyone. Okay, that is the second. Okay, so create more equal opportunities for everyone. And how you will do that? How you will create more equal opportunities for everyone, even for poor people? How you will do that? Okay, so this approach says that you do not give money to this. You better provide better health care, early childhood education. Okay, so better schools, better hospitals. Okay, where everybody can come. Even poor people should have decent level of health care. So if you will do that, maybe the present generation जो अभी गरीब है वो maybe वो गरीब रहेगा, but the intergenerational nature that may be broken. Now the poor people, they will also have access to decent level of these things. Okay, so their human capital may increase, and then जो हम start में देखे थे कि human capital में difference के कारण जो inequality breed होता था, that cycle can be broken if you will provide that to the present level of the kids. Okay? तो बच्चों से शुरुआत जो है इसके बारे में मेनली ये बात करता है कि फोकस अभी जिनका हो गया, जो ही बच्चे हैं उनका देखो तो वो रिपीट नहीं होगा, नहीं तो समाज अपने आप को रेप्लिकेट करता रहता है. ठीक है, सो क्रिएट मोर इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर एवरीवन. कैन यू गिव मी नेम ऑफ गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव्स हु इज ट्राइंग टू डू दिस? Reservation, yes, it's one of things trying to create this. It's a political angle से हो गया वो. ठीक है, of course that's one point. Think about government initiatives who नरेगा. हाँ ठीक है, नरेगा इससे पहले वाले का बेटर होता. ठीक है, यहाँ पर अरे बच्चों का अर्ली चाइल्डहुड एजुकेशन के लिए क्या होता है? आंगनवाड़ी का नाम सुने होंगे आप लोग, राइट? आंगनवाड़ी पोषण 2.0 जो है. ओके, तो वहाँ पर जो है आपको बेटर न्यूट्रिशन एंड अर्ली चाइल्डहुड एजुकेशन. ओके, आयुष्मान भारत, यस, so that is for the family members health related things. Okay, so these are the initiatives which creates this equal opportunity. better government schools. Okay, so yeah, free or subsidized education. More than that, quality education. Okay, so हमारे यहाँ बहुत सारे states में free education है. I come from Bihar. Okay, so education, if you want to go to sarkari school, it's free. Okay, but you go to sarkari school only when you have nowhere else to go. Okay, so that is the problem. So education plus the quality should be there. नहीं तो जो पैसा जा रहा है वो भी बर्बादी हो रहा है. It's just giving psychological कि हाँ बच्चा पढ़ रहा है. ठीक है. So this create more equal opportunity for everyone. इसका जो criticism है, what can be the criticism of it? सरकार के पास पैसा कहाँ है? Okay, where is the fund? So this will, government is already going in the fiscal deficit. Okay, so more than 5% fiscal deficit, 5.6% something. Okay, so lack of fund is one of the criticism, because it will again go to point number 1. Then you will say again you will have to increase taxes. कि आप पैसा लाओगे, progressive taxation करो. Okay, so again वो point number 1 पे चला गया. And the second criticism of this approach is, it says that government is inherently inefficient. You cannot, this approach says that. I am not saying it. I am not saying it is right or wrong. I am just telling you the criticism. This criticism says that government is not efficient. If government will run hospital, if government will run a school, it will be inefficient. पैसे की बर्बादी है. ठीक है? So this is the second approach. कि because of bureaucratic nature of the government, because of lack of accountability in the government, whatever government will do will remain inefficient. Okay, so but again, of course, there is challenge to this also, because those who oppose this, they say that look at Nordic countries, look at many European countries where the education is free, healthcare is free or highly subsidized. They are charging very high taxes, as much as 40% of the income. So the Nordic countries are taking as tax, but people are happily giving that 40%. Why? Because they know that once they have given 40%, they don't have to worry about their child's education or their healthcare. They have this trust in the government. So it's not like governments are inherently inefficient. It is that here in India, the processes are such that we have made our government inefficient. So government can be reformed. Okay, that is वो उसका ये है. ठीक है. So criticism is governments are inherently inefficient. Okay, and what are the government initiatives? See, more examples. I am just writing 1 or 2 examples. In notes, you will find more examples. ठीक है? मैं जो भी बोल रहा हूँ, it's here I am just trying to make you understand, and I am forcing you to write, because when you are writing, तो आपका ये हाथ और न्यूरो जो है वो connected है. This is not ऐसा बाबा वाला theory. Okay, this has been proved that you have to write. Okay, तो अगर आप बस लिखते नहीं हैं, copy paste करके notes बना रहे, those things are less efficient. Okay, so people, you have to use your hand. That will force you to write. Okay, you will remember more. So it's a very important. You must write. Okay, ठीक है. Okay. Okay, ठीक है. So government initiatives like say Anganwadi, and Poshan 2.0, exact schemes you'll have to write. This leads to nutritional security for children 6 months से 6 years तक के बच्चे का. ठीक है. Then pregnant and lactating ladies, pregnant and lactating mothers, and adolescent girls. Slowly, when you will read more, you will realize that most of India's intergenerational problems lies here. Okay, pregnant and lactating mothers, adolescent girls. Okay, the moment nutrition-related challenges, okay, iron deficiency, all those things will be there. It will be reflected in the coming generation. Okay, so if you want to handle problem of poverty, if you want to handle problem of learning deficiency, any kind of things, you have to start here. Okay, so this gives highest return. Okay, but the problem is this do not look like a big bang reform. Okay, ये इतना ऐसा नहीं लगता कि एकदम कोई खतरनाक सा काम कर दिया. Okay, but this is very, very important. Okay, you have to start here anyway. So this is the government initiatives. Okay, and what is the challenge or what is the criticism of the government effort? Government says all these things, but ultimately सबका challenge ये आता है कि critics point out कि आप बोलते हो कि आप कर रहे हो, but you are not spending enough money. It says that government in India, not only government, the total health spending in India is about 3.something%, okay, of GDP. Okay, total health expenditure, including private and government combined, is about 3.something%. Okay, if you compare it with other developed countries, if you will look at UK have more than 11% of GDP dedicated to healthcare. Okay, if you may say कि okay, UK तो very developed country, you can come to Brazil. Okay, Brazil have about 10% of the GDP going to healthcare expenditure. Okay? That means as a country we are spending less on health. Okay, same is the case for education. Okay? On education, government is spending about 2.5% of the GDP. Okay, while national education policy 2020, it says that it should be at least 6%. These things says that yes, government is taking initiatives, but it is not efficient. It is not sufficient. Okay, so this data, the ones you will quote this data, आपका काम हो गया. ठीक है? The data का beauty ये है कि आपने एक बार लिख दिया, अब आपको you don't have to explain it. You can write more in less words. That is importance of data. अभी मैं आपको जितना कहानी सुना रहा हूँ, this much story you cannot write in question paper. In 150 words, you cannot write this story. So how you will write it? Through data, through keywords. Okay. So the moment you will write that keyword, examiner समझ जाएगा. ठीक है? So this will happen slowly, but this you should remember. Okay. So that's that. Okay. So what is the exact is percentage of GDP? It's 3.28%. So criticism is insufficient expenditure on health. And then you can say India about 3.24% of GDP, and this is total. Okay, this is not only government, this is government and private मिला के total है. ठीक है? UK it is about 11%. किसी एक कंट्री का एटलीस्ट आपको याद होना चाहिए. ठीक है, किसी एक कंट्री का, ऐसा नहीं कि आपको 4 कंट्री का याद हो, एटलीस्ट कोई एक कंट्री का, so that you can compare. Okay, so this India is this. So just examiner will know कि आप जो point बोल रहे हो, examiner समझ जाएगा आप यही point बोल रहे हो. Okay, similarly if we come to, so expenditure on health, same is on education. On education, public expenditure is about, exactly it's about 2.4 or 2.5%. How much it is? Okay, 2.9%. 2.9% of GDP. Okay. National education policy is 6% of GDP. Okay. So this is criticism of the system. Okay, clear hai bhaiya? And the third is, so first was redistribution of wealth, how you handle inequality, redistribute wealth, progressive taxation, that component. Second is create equality, okay, provide equality of opportunity, okay. And the third is market related approach. If government should intervene less, market is more efficient, let market take care of it, okay. So that is third, okay. ठीक है. Third is market related approaches. Okay. In market related approaches, you have this key, you increase competition. If you will increase competition, people will have incentive, they will prepare hard. Okay. So if you know that UPSC is fair, you are spending money, you are spending time here. Many people give up good jobs and then again they come to prepare because there's this hope that है, मतलब system जो है वो fair है. If I will work hard, there is a chance. Okay. So even if competition is very tough, still people come and prepare. So it says that if exams will be fair, people will work hard. People will try to improve themselves. Okay. तो गरीब भी है तो भी वो एफर्ट मारेगा. ठीक है. तो एफर्ट मारेगा तो वो improve करेगा. So that's one part. Okay. Another is increase financial inclusion. Okay. So ensure that even poor people, they can get loan. If they want to start some business, if they want to start MSMEs, okay, if they want to start some dhaba maybe, they can get loan to start. Okay, that is financial inclusion. Okay, so if you will do these things, they are saying कि eventually हो जाएगा. ठीक है. So that's this market related approaches. Increase in competition, promoting financial inclusion, all बाकी जो भी तो this is market related thing. Okay, so you give tax benefits. Market related approach will say that you give tax benefits to companies. Okay, so let them work. Okay, incentivize them to invest more. Okay, and then they will create more jobs. Okay, increase entrepreneurship. Okay, so if you will increase entrepreneurship, again entrepreneurship जो है वो कहीं से भी आ सकता है. ठीक है. If you will do that, it will take care of it. Okay, इस अप्रोच का जो क्रिटिसिज्म है वो यही है कि unregulated market can lead to benefit for those who are already rich. ठीक है. जिसको नियम कानून पता है, जिसको गेम पता है मार्केट का, वही मार्केट को जीत के ले जाएगा. Okay? तो अगेन कि अगर मार्केट अनरेगुलेटेड है तो फिर ये हो जाएगा. ये मार्केट वाले का क्रिटिसिज्म है. आपको सारे पॉइंट्स का पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव पता होना चाहिए. एज ए फ्यूचर सिविल सर्वेंट you have to know good and bad, and then you have to take decision. Maybe you can take decision on this part or that part. That is different. But you should apply your mind कि problem है कहाँ पर. Okay, that is very important. ठीक है. So it's this market related approaches. Okay. So इसका criticism is unregulated market can lead to further concentration of wealth. Okay. And then what are some of the government initiatives already being taken? Competition Commission of India है market को regulate करने के लिए. ठीक है, पेमेंट बैंक है, स्मॉल फाइनेंस बैंक है, to increase the financial inclusion. Okay, so you can write government initiatives. Okay, government initiatives like presence of regulators like Competition Commission of India, RBI, SEBI. So they are there to regulate the market to ensure that level playing field is being provided. Okay, then for financial inclusion, okay, increasing number of bank branches in rural areas. Okay, payment bank, a small finance bank. नाबार्ड का हो गया, तो ऑल दिस थिंग्स आर एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप के लिए हो गया, ठीक है, स्टार्टअप इंडिया प्रमोट कर रहा है. ओके, हाँ, मुद्रा योजना ऑल्सो हेल्प्स इन इंक्रीजिंग द financial inclusion because Mudra Yojana gives loan to the MSMEs. Okay, so these are some of the initiatives, government initiatives. Okay, so that's that. So this is how to tackle. बाकी अब जो भी अप्रोच आएगा वो इसी में कहीं ना कहीं फिट बैठेगा, ठीक है. यू डोंट हैव टू वरी टू मच कि इसमें आएगा या उसमें आएगा. मेनी टाइम्स इट्स बोल सकते हैं कि इसमें भी आएगा उसमें भी आएगा. ओके, सो डोंट हैव टू वरी दैट मच अबाउट इट, बट यू शुड नो दीज आर द 3 अप्रोचेस जनरली, एंड गवर्नमेंट एट ए टाइम इज जनरली टेकिंग ऑल द स्टेप्स. ओके, तो politically they may say whatever they want to say, but when you will see the policies, they're trying to take help of everything कि ultimately जो काम कर जाए whatever. तो all the 3 approaches governments are following. कुछ ज़्यादा कर रहा होता है, कोई कुछ कम कर रहा होता है, but everybody is trying to do all these things. Okay, so this was about it. Okay, इसमें एक चीज़ which I missed is causes of inequality. ठीक है, सीधे हम वहाँ से फिर सॉल्यूशन पे आ गए थे. ठीक है, विच आई रियलाइज्ड लेटर, द कॉजेज यहीं से जा करके आता है. ठीक है, द कॉजेज it's there in your notes. Okay, again it's there in notes, but you have to write it. You should note it down. Generally causes are what? One is opening of the economy, liberalization. If it is not managed well, when economy was liberalized, the certain section of society benefited more from it. Okay, so those who already had some level of skill, English education, okay, software training, they were able to make most from the opening up of the economy. Okay, farmers suffered. Okay, so this is one section got more benefit out of that. Okay, the second thing is taxation. We already talked. Okay, so these are some of the challenges. Okay, so this is all about inequality. Now we'll see some smaller topics जो कि जल्दी में निकले. ठीक है, ये वाला कुछ ज़्यादा तेजी से ये हो गया. ठीक है, now we'll see let's see smaller topics. Okay, it's yes Ganesh is saying that it's very small with respect to Nordic countries. Yes. Okay. Okay. Imported inflation. This is more important for prelims examination. Whatever next 4 or 5 topics we are going to discuss, these are small topics which are more important for prelims examination. Okay. Imported inflation means inflation in India is increasing because of increase in the price of imported goods. Okay. Now imported inflation, what can be the, like all of you must have witnessed that when the war happened in Ukraine. Okay. So the price of sunflower oil, it was under 100 rupees per kg, and it suddenly became 190, 180, 190 rupees per liter. Okay. So this was because of increase in price because of the unrest there. So imported inflation means inflation because of increasing price of imported goods. The thing with India is we import 2 very important things which leads to imported inflation. Crude oil, okay, more than 85% of our requirement of crude oil, more than 45% of our natural gas requirements. Okay, so basically energy, we are importing lots of energy. So whenever there is an increase in price of that energy, it is leading to inflation in everything because transportation costs increased, okay, production costs increased, okay. And the second thing is we are very, very dependent on foreign countries for vegetable oil, okay, food, vegetable oil and pulses, okay. So pulses less so, but vegetable oil and pulses are top 2 India's agriculture imports, okay. So whenever something happens in say Ukraine, Russia, or if something happens in Argentina, ब्राज़ील में बारिश नहीं होगा, हमारे यहाँ जो है वो एडिबल ऑयल के प्राइसेस बढ़ जाएंगे, ओके. मलेशिया, इंडोनेशिया में कुछ हो जाएगा, हमारे यहाँ एडिबल ऑयल के प्राइसेस बढ़ जाएंगे बिकॉज पाम ऑयल वी आर इंपोर्टिंग फ्रॉम देम, ठीक है. So this is one big challenge, okay. So inflation because of increasing price of imported goods, mainly crude oil, natural gas, vegetable oil, pulses, and more, okay. I'm just writing these are the more important things, okay? Now why imported inflation may happen? मीनिंग तो आप समझ गए इंपोर्टेड इन्फ्लेशन का. Why? What is the cause of imported inflation? One तो simple global increase in prices. That global increase in prices can be because of geopolitical events, okay. That can be because of supply chain disruption. That can be because of weather event, okay. So anything can lead to that, okay. So why? Increase in price of global commodities. Increase in global price of commodities, not, okay. Let's say because of ये supply chain disruption जो है, this you must understand very clearly, okay. Today we will not talk much about that. We'll take again forever. It's a long topic, but it's very, very important, okay. For mains examination, this is very, very important, okay. Supply chain disruption. Already in food sector, UPSC have asked question on this. It's waiting to be asked because of supply chain disruption. Prices बढ़ गया, लड़ाई हो गया, आ ही नहीं रहा है, ठीक है. Recently, Houthi rebels were attacking the ships, okay, in Red Sea, and because of that the products prices were increasing, okay, because overall prices वो पूरा घूम के अफ्रीका उधर से नीचे से आ रहा था केप ऑफ गुड होप से तो वहाँ prices were increasing, okay. So this why. Another thing is, okay, rupee will appreciate or depreciate. If rupee will appreciate, prices will increase or decrease, imported prices. If rupee will appreciate, imported prices will increase or decrease, or our import bill will increase or decrease. So यहाँ पर उल्टा हो जाएगा. Why? Increasing this, और second हो गया depreciation of rupee. If there is big depreciation of rupee, let's say कि rupee 80 per dollar से rupee 160 per dollar हो गया, okay. What does that mean? Initially to import goods worth $1, you had to spend 80 rupees. But now after depreciation, if you want to buy goods worth $1, you'll have to pay 160 rupees. So because of depreciation of rupee, the price of goods increases. So even though price of good is same in global market, maybe globally crude oil का prices नहीं बढ़ा है, ठीक है. सऊदी अरबिया में वही रेट मिल रहा है डॉलर टर्म में, but just because rupee got depreciation, your prices increased. Okay. So these are the two main fundamental reasons responsible for imported inflation. Okay. So this is cause. Now this will be asked in prelims. They can ask why prices can increase. Maybe they will tell you imported inflation. Maybe they will not use the word imported. They'll just say why inflation in India may increase, whether because of depreciation of rupee or appreciation of rupee. Okay, and now what can be the effect? Effect is more complex. Effect of imported inflation. Okay. Imported inflation leads to, again, two very fundamental things. One is imported inflation leads to what? Increase in prices. Increase in prices can have many effects. Like increase in prices means cost of living will increase or decrease? Increase, right? Increase in prices of imported goods. There are many producers in India who are importing goods from abroad and then they are processing it and selling it. Okay, let's say crude oil mein hi. We are buying crude oil from abroad, like say Reliance is buying crude oil from other countries. They are refining it in Jamnagar and then selling it back to other countries. Okay, so crude oil is different and the petroleum products are different. So we are exporter of petroleum products. Okay, we are exporting petroleum products. Okay. So if imported inflation will increase, that means price of inputs for such producers will increase. अब उसको महंगा पड़ेगा. अगर उसको महंगा पड़ रहा है, then what will happen to the export competitiveness of those producers? It will decrease, right? Because if someone in Bangladesh is getting same crude oil at lesser price and the Reliance is getting crude oil at a higher price, then of course it will reflect in the ultimate cost. So petroleum product of Reliance will be more costly to foreign market. So why they will buy it? Okay, so the competitiveness decreases. Okay, so effect of imported inflation, one is increase in price of commodities. These things can be asked in prelims examination. Okay, कि effect क्या है? You will see prelims questions. Cause and effect of these things are, मतलब every second year they are, not even second year, कभी inflation का पूछेगा, कभी exchange rate का पूछेगा, घुमा फिरा के वो इस पर आएगा ही. ठीक है, so this is like perennial theme. Okay, right Ganesh, yes, you are right. Okay, so effect of imported inflation will increase in price of commodities, which will lead to increase in cost of living and reduced export competitiveness of producers who use imported inputs. Okay, so effect of imported inflation is this. तो एक तो ये हो गया increase in price of commodity, उसके कारण दो चीज हो रहा है. और दूसरा क्या हो रहा है? Effect of imported inflation. This is one way of effect. Another is if import from India will increase, if import cost will increase, that means what will happen to demand of dollar? Demand of dollar will increase or decrease. अगर आप import का cost आपका बढ़ गया, okay, initially you were paying $5, now you have to pay $10. Okay? That means demand for dollar will increase. Okay, demand for dollar will increase means dollar will become more strong. Dollar will become more strong means relatively rupee will become weak. Okay, तो यहाँ से एक चीज है कि effect of imported inflation leads to okay, yes, so ठीक है, effect of imported inflation leads to depreciation of rupee. तो depreciation of rupee के कारण ये हुआ और वहां से फिर ये हो रहा है. Okay? Problem with depreciation of rupee is it will again lead to increase in crude oil prices. ठीक है, वो सर्कल घूम रहा है कि इंपोर्ट बढ़ा, इंपोर्ट कॉस्ट बढ़ा, रुपी डिप्रिशिएट किया, फिर से इंपोर्ट कॉस्ट बढ़ा. So it will be vicious circle. Okay, so it will further lead to inflation. So this is a problem, further lead to inflation. So these are the ways in which imported inflation get set. ठीक है, तो ये बेसिक हो गया imported inflation का, फंडा क्लियर हो गया. Some of the things, कुछ import export related कुछ डेटा है which you should remember at least roughly, शायद 2023 में पूछ भी दिया था. Okay, some basic import export related data. This is very very important. इंडिया का टोटल इंपोर्ट एज परसेंटेज ऑफ जीडीपी. अच्छा, इंडिया ज़्यादा इंपोर्ट करता है या एक्सपोर्ट करता है? वी हैव, हमारा ट्रेड डेफिसिट है, ठीक है, ओवरऑल भी हमारा करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट में ही चल रहा है, ठीक है, तो वी इंपोर्ट मोर एक्सपोर्ट लेस, राइट. सो ओके, एनी गेस इन परसेंटेज? अरे टोटल इंपोर्ट मतलब गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज मिला करके, टोटल इंपोर्ट एज परसेंटेज ऑफ जीडीपी कितना परसेंट होगा रफली? मोटा मोटी कुछ भी तुक्का मारिए. टोटल इंपोर्ट कितना होगा? 1330. Okay, Ganesh is also saying 30. Okay, so roughly it's about 26%. Okay, and it keeps on changing. ठीक है, आज 26 है, कल 27 हो सकता है, परसों 25 हो सकता है. Roughly you should remember it's around 25%, 24-25. Okay, so this is about 26% of GDP. And total export as percentage of GDP, this is about 21% of GDP. Okay, it says 21 point something. Okay, so point you should not worry that much about it. Okay, but this इतना आपको याद रहना चाहिए, ठीक है, clear? This data is very important. Okay, so global, so this is one set of data. Another set of data which I am not going to discuss today, okay, maybe some next time when it will come I will discuss. That is percentage of India's import and export as global, like say कि total India's goods import as percentage of global import, total India's goods export as percentage of global export. Okay, so this data was already asked in 2023. Okay, so the services export of India as percentage of total global service export, this data was asked. Okay, so it's more than 4%. Okay, so that's that. Okay, this you should remember for now. Next time when again the topic will come, I'll cover that. Okay, this is about that. The second topic, again a smaller topic, is अभी का टॉपिक सब छोटा छोटा टॉपिक्स है, ठीक है, तो क्विकली बट छोटा टॉपिक है, बट यहाँ से ऑल दिस आर मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स, ठीक है, प्रीलिम्स के लिए ये काम का चीज़ है. ओके, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज, नेक्स्ट, दिस इज नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. ओके, इंपोर्टेड इन्फ्लेशन हो गया, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. Financial services institutions bureau. Okay, FSIB. Any idea? FSIB का काम क्या है? फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज इंस्टीट्यूशंस ब्यूरो, FSIB. आज का सबसे छोटा टॉपिक है. इसका आइडिया, इसका काम क्या है? आप लोग बैंक बोर्ड ब्यूरो का नाम सुने थे? BBB, बैंक बोर्ड ब्यूरो. ओके, ठीक है, नहीं सुने थे, अच्छी बात है, क्योंकि उसको हटा दिया गया है. ठीक है, तो बैंक बोर्ड ब्यूरो ऑलरेडी बीन आस्क्ड बाय द UPSC, बट बाद में दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट हटा दिया. ठीक है, इसका काम है, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज इंस्टीट्यूशंस ब्यूरोज वर्क इज टू रिकमेंड फॉर अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ होल टाइम डायरेक्टर्स एंड नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव चेयरपर्सन्स ऑफ financial institutions in the country. Public मतलब government financial institutions, public sector banks, okay, life insurance companies and other financial institutions. इनके जो टॉप लेवल के ये होते हैं एग्जीक्यूटिव्स होते हैं, उनका ये जो है उनका अपॉइंटमेंट का काम जो है ये करता है, अपॉइंटमेंट रिकमेंडेशन का काम ये करता है. फॉर एग्जांपल एसबीआई चेयरपर्सन कौन होगा, ओके, पीएनबी का चेयरपर्सन कौन होगा, एलआईसी का चेयरपर्सन कौन होगा. So this is the body who make recommendation. Okay, this is very important body. Okay, तो इसका जो पहले वाला body था उस पर यूपीएससी क्वेश्चन पूछ चुका है. So this can be asked anytime. Okay, yes, Dharma, you are right that BBB was replaced by FSIB. Yes. So Financial Services Institutions Bureau. So it's responsibility is प्रीलिम्स वाला क्या होता है कि जो बस प्रीलिम्स का टॉपिक है, जैसे ये मेंस में कभी पूछेगा नहीं, पक्का ही नहीं पूछेगा. ठीक है, स्लोली विथ एक्सपीरियंस आप जैसे जैसे देखोगे प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन, आपको पता चल जाएगा कि ये चीज़ प्रीलिम्स में आएगा. ठीक है, मतलब मोर देन 95% कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल से आप बोल सकते हैं कि ये मेंस में नहीं पूछेगा. ठीक है, तो देन आपका जो नोट्स होगा वो छोटा छोटा होगा प्रीलिम्स वाले टॉपिक्स का, आप बस पॉइंटर्स रहेंगे, हो गया. जो मेंस वाला टॉपिक होगा उसका मोर डिटेल होगा, क्योंकि वो तो वहाँ पर एनालिसिस इज रिक्वायर्ड. सो स्लोली यू विल हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड यू विल हैव टू लर्न द हैबिट ऑफ पिकिंग अप कि कौन सा मेंस के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है, उसमें घुसना है. जो इंपॉर्टेंट जैसे इसमें हमको घुसना है ही नहीं. ठीक है, 3-4 फैक्ट हैं, हो गया, वहीं से पूछेगा. ठीक है, तो रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो है वो रिकमेंड्स name for appointment of होल टर्म डायरेक्टर्स. इवन इतना भी याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. अगर आपको एक बार पता है कि जो टॉप एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं उनको ये अपॉइंट करता है, तो वहाँ पर यूपीएससी गेम नहीं खेलेगा कि नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव चेयरमैन को एग्जीक्यूटिव चेयरमैन कर दिया और आपको फंसा दिया. ठीक है, दे डोंट एक्सपेक्ट यू टू बी उस लेवल का एक्सपर्ट. ठीक है, तो एंड नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव chairpersons of public sector banks, insurance agencies, and other financial institutions. तो एफएसआईबी से पूछेगा तो यही पूछेगा. एफएसआईबी का एक दूसरा चीज जो है, who appoints रिकमेंडेशन नहीं, बाइंडिंग नहीं है, रिकमेंडेशन है. इसको अप्रूव जो है वो अपॉइंटमेंट कमिटी ऑफ ये जो है कैबिनेट का जो अपॉइंटमेंट कमिटी है वो अप्रूव करता है. ठीक है, तो मोस्टली एक्सेप्ट ही हो जाता है, बट स्टिल ये ऑन पेपर अगर आपको प्रीलिम्स में बोलेगा कि बाइंडिंग है, बाइंडिंग नहीं है, इट्स रिकमेंडेशन. ठीक है, क्लियर. ठीक है, हु अपॉइंट्स members and chairperson, again central government. ठीक है, और सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट विदिन सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट जो है वो अपॉइंटमेंट कमिटी ऑफ कैबिनेट. अपॉइंटमेंट कमिटी ऑफ कैबिनेट इज हेडेड बाय, कौन हेड करता है? इसको हेड कौन करता है अपॉइंटमेंट कमिटी ऑफ कैबिनेट को? यस मनी, यू आर राइट, सही, मनी सही बोल रहे. बाकी और कोई लोग जो दूसरे ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स पे देख रहे हैं? यस गणेश, यू आर ऑल्सो राइट। आप में से कोई अपॉइंटमेंट कमेटी हेड कौन करता है? हाँ, अपॉइंटमेंट कमेटी ऑफ कैबिनेट, हु इज द हेड? चेयरमैन कौन होते हैं? ठीक है, पीएम होते हैं। ठीक है, जो भी कमिटीज है, एक दो को छोड़ करके, शायद दो है, पार्लियामेंट्री कमेटी और एक और है, उसको छोड़ करके बाकी सबके जो हेड हैं वो पीएम ही होते हैं। ठीक है, तो जो एक्सेप्शन है उसको याद रखिए, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट बाकी सब पीएम है। ठीक है, तो फिर याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है। ठीक है, तो ये हु अपॉइंट्स मेंबर्स, तो ये हो गया। ठीक है, ये फंडा आपका क्लियर हो गया। और ठीक है, और इनका जो रिकमेंडेशन है, रिकमेंडेशन इज अप्रूव्ड बाय ऑल्सो अपॉइंटमेंट कमिटी। ठीक है, इट्स रिकमेंडेशन इज also approved by same appointment committee of cabinet. इतना इंपॉर्टेंट था बस। इसमें एक चीज जो आपको ध्यान रखना है कि इसका नाम है अपॉइंटमेंट, अच्छा, फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज इंस्टीट्यूशंस ब्यूरो, एफएसआईबी। ठीक है, एफएसआईबी जो फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस है उसके हेड को करता है। एक मिलता जुलता सा नाम है, दैट इज फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटीज सिलेक्शन कमेटी। ठीक है, फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटीज सिलेक्शन कमेटी, वो और इसमें कंफ्यूज नहीं करना है। ठीक है, ये एफएसआईबी है, उसका हाफ फॉर्म क्या है? एफएसआरएसएससी है। ठीक है, फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटीज सर्च कमेटी। ठीक है, एफएसआरएससी, कंफर्म यही है, एफएसआरएससी। हाँ, डू नॉट कंफ्यूज विथ, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, दोनों में कंफ्यूज नहीं करना है, क्योंकि प्रीलिम्स में गेम ऐसे ही खेलता है। ठीक है, आपको पढ़ते टाइम, जब आप पढ़ रहे, व्हेन यू आर रीडिंग इट, यू हैव टू बी अलर्ट कि व्हिच थिंग्स कैन बी कंफ्यूज्ड विथ व्हाट। ठीक है, वो इसका एक स्टेटमेंट इसका दे देगा, दूसरा स्टेटमेंट उसका दे देगा। ठीक है, और आपको फंसा लेगा, आपको लगेगा आप सही मार के आए हो, घर पहुंचोगे, मिलाओगे, पता चलेगा फंस गए। ठीक है, तो द पॉइंट इज कि यू हैव टू बी प्रोएक्टिव in prelims. Alertness is more important. Alertness, proactiveness. If you will solve enough number of previous year questions and enough number of non-previous year questions also, good quality questions, you will slowly develop that instinct. ठीक है, कि वो आपके दिमाग में हमेशा चलता रहेगा कि कहाँ पर वो फंसाएगा, कहाँ पर। ठीक है, तो स्लोली आप वो पकड़ने में, तभी आप एग्जाम में अलर्ट रहोगे। ठीक है, तो दैट इज एफएसआरएससी जो है, ये है फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी सर्च कमिटी। एनीबॉडी हैव एनी आइडिया? नाम देख के कुछ पता चल रहा है कि इसका काम क्या होगा? फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी सर्च कमिटी, व्हाट इज द वर्क ऑफ दिस? Anybody would like to take a guess? Feel free, तुक्का मारिए। नहीं, there is something called regulatory authority. यहाँ से बताइए, रेगुलेटरी, अच्छा सॉरी, ये है रेगुलेटरी अपॉइंटमेंट। रेगुलेटरी अपॉइंटमेंट, इसको ठीक है, लॉन्ग फुल फॉर्म्स। ओके, एफएसआरएससी, फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर रेगुलेटरी अथॉरिटी। ये रेगुलेटरी जो बॉडीज है उसके हेड्स को अपॉइंट करती है। एफएसआरएससी जो था वो फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस के हेड को कर रहा था। ये आरबीआई गवर्नर, एसबीआई से, सॉरी एसबीआई नहीं, सेबी, आईआरडीएआई, ठीक है, पेंशन फंड मैनेजमेंट का जो है वो रेगुलेटरी बॉडीज का जो है उसको ये करती है। ठीक है, तो इसका जॉब है रिकमेंड appointments of chairpersons of financial sector regulators. तो एसबीआई का चेयरमैन एफएसआरएसी देखेगा और आरबीआई का ये देखेगा, ठीक है, चेयरमैन ऑफ फाइनेंशियल सेक्टर रेगुलेटर्स. और बस चेयरमैन नहीं, यहाँ पर हम चेयरमैन लिख दिए. जो आरबीआई के डिप्टी गवर्नर्स का भी यही करता है, ठीक है. और डिप्टी गवर्नर एग्जाम में नहीं पूछेगा, गवर्नर ही पूछेगा, ठीक है. लाइक आरबीआई, सेबी, डीएआई, ठीक है, एटसेट्रा. तो ये फंड आपका क्लियर हो गया. ओके, ठीक है. सो दिस वन टॉपिक डन, ठीक है, छोटा वाला टॉपिक. देन देयर इज अनदर टॉपिक, gross fixed capital formation. Okay, gross fixed capital formation. This again is a very important topic. This is again next topic. Okay. See, these current affairs sessions are going to be very intense and it's a bit time taking. Okay, at least initially. Slowly what will happen? Slowly आपका भी fundamentals बन जाएगा and then we will quickly move. जो revision classes होते हैं मेंस के टाइम में या prelims से just पहले, वो एकदम गाड़ी की तरह भागती है, ठीक है. इन दैट रिवीजन क्लासेस अगर किसी को बैकग्राउंड इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है तो वो फिर बैठा ही रह जाएगा, ठीक है. एट प्रेजेंट वी आर मूविंग बिट स्लोली. ओके, वी आर कवरिंग लेस टॉपिक्स. स्लोली वी विल आल्सो कैच अप स्पीड. ओके, सो आइडियली वी शुड बी एबल टू कवर एटलीस्ट 12-13 टॉपिक्स इन 2-2.5 hours टाइम. ओके, सो बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर दैट. आपका फंडामेंटल्स जितना बन जाएगा, slowly I will have to explain less, ठीक है. Okay, regulatory bodies or financial institutions. Okay, धर्मा तेजा, it comes under financial institutions. जितने भी गवर्नमेंट के financial institutions हैं, we will put it under one, ठीक है. Banking, insurance, that is one. एक topic हो गया पूरा financial institutions. Okay. Next topic is gross fixed. You go out and you are buying, say you bought samosa. Is it your asset? Okay. So interest. Okay. Let's say that you have invested money. Let's say in Reliance या SBI. अभी काउंटिंग के दिन अचानक से शेयर बाजार क्रैश किया, आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी दिखा, पैसा था, आपने इन्वेस्ट कर दिया. Does that money come under this? Okay, for us, for individuals, yes, that is your asset. Okay, when we look at countries level GDP, that is not asset. Okay, that's just changing hands. आपके हाथ से पैसा मेरे हाथ में आ गया. Nothing new has been created. Okay, so from your perspective, yes, it is asset, but from economy's perspective, that's not asset. Okay, capital normally means something which is used to produce another commodity, another goods. Okay, and whose lifetime is generally more than 1 year. Okay, so let's say that you will buy say machine, okay, or let's say laptop. Let's say you are a software engineer, you bought a laptop. Okay, so for next 2-3 years that laptop will help you earn more money. That is capital for you. Okay, so capital, whenever you classify goods in two types. One is consumer goods and another is capital goods. Consumer goods, खाया पिया खत्म हो गया, okay, and capital goods is this. Okay, ठीक है. Gross fixed capital formation. So capital asset, you can write it capital fixed assets which helps in production of another goods without themselves being consumed. ठीक है, इसका लाइफ मोर देन 1 ईयर एक माना गया है. ठीक है, मोर देन 1 ईयर. ठीक है, दिस इज कैपिटल एसेट. नाउ दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कॉन्सेप्ट इन जीडीपी कैलकुलेशन. ओके, तो ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन, कैपिटल एसेट्स का इंपॉर्टेंस क्या है? मोर इज द कैपिटल एसेट, मोर यू विल बी एबल टू प्रोड्यूस इन फ्यूचर. अभी अगर आप इफ यू आर बिल्डिंग कैपिटल एसेट्स नाउ at this point t equal to let's say 2024 में if you are building a factory, then in 2025 when that factory will be ready you will be able to produce more. So capital assets helps you हटा देते हैं, country कर देते हैं, helps economies increase future productivity and production. तो जिस भी कंट्री का कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन ज़्यादा होगा वो ज़्यादा आगे फ्यूचर में प्रोड्यूस करेगा. ओके, बेसिक फंडा आपको कैपिटल क्या, अभी हम लोग ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन का अभी नहीं समझे हैं. ठीक है, उस पर जाएंगे, बट अभी आपको कैपिटल का बेसिक फंडा समझ में आ गया. ठीक है, क्लियर? एनीबडी हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम? GFCF, यस, ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन. धर्मा तेजा, यस, ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन. now let's see the definition. ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन होता क्या है कि रेसिडेंट इन्वेस्टर्स, व्हेन रेसिडेंट इन्वेस्टर्स आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन क्रिएटिंग फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, देन इट इज कॉल्ड ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन. ठीक है, रेसिडेंट इन्वेस्टर मीन्स इफ यू आर इन्वेस्टिंग इन इंडियाज इकोनॉमी, you are building factories, that is that. Okay, FDI is not part of gross fixed capital formation. Okay, maybe if you are borrowing money from abroad and you are investing it, it becomes part of gross fixed capital formation, but FDI इसका part नहीं है. फंडा क्लियर? ठीक है, जो रेसिडेंट इन्वेस्टर्स जो इन्वेस्ट करते हैं that is part of gross fixed capital formation. Okay, investment by resident investors in building so here the keyword is resident investors. ठीक है, this must be by resident investors. This is keyword. Again, gross fixed capital formation, these are produced asset. When we say fixed assets by definition are produced asset. What do we mean by produced asset? मतलब अगर जमीन है, जमीन produced asset है या नहीं है? Land is non-produced asset. If you are improving on that, आप जमीन का बाउंड्री डलवा दिए, उसको वहाँ पर कुछ कर दिए, then that becomes produced asset. But without that, अगर आप बस जमीन खरीदे, that is not part of gross fixed capital formation. Okay? So gross fixed capital formation, GFCF, is produced non-financial asset. See, every word is important. Okay, UPSC आपको कहीं से भी फंसाएगा. Okay, just we'll see in a while. ठीक है, ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन इन्वेस्टमेंट है जो कि आप इकोनॉमी में कर रहे हो. ओके, और कैपिटल बढ़ाने में, दैट इज फिक्स्ड एसेट. ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन इज प्रोड्यूस्ड एसेट. ओके, एंड नॉन फिनेंशियल एसेट. पहले लिख दिया है नॉन फिनेंशियल। आप एफडी कर रहे हो, दैट इज नॉट जीएफसीएफ। आप शेयर मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, दैट इज नॉट जीएफसीएफ। ठीक है, सो दिस इज नॉन फिनेंशियल बाय नेचर। क्लियर फंडा? ओके, तो वो आपसे क्वेश्चन में क्या पूछेगा, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग आर एग्जाम्पल्स ऑफ ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन। 1 2 3 4 दे देगा, उसमें से कोई एक लैंड दे देगा, कोई एक बोल देगा गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया रिलायंस का शेयर खरीद ली। दोज थिंग्स आर नॉट पार्ट ऑफ ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन। ओके, फिनेंशियल एसेट्स आर नॉट पार्ट ऑफ इट। ठीक है, प्रोड्यूस्ड हो गया, नॉन फिनेंशियल एसेट्स हो गया। Another thing is gross fixed capital formation can be both tangible and intangible. Gross fixed capital formation, which is also called investment. ठीक है, इकोनॉमी के लैंग्वेज में इसको इन्वेस्टमेंट भी कहते हैं। हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं, इकोनॉमी का इन्वेस्टमेंट अलग है। ठीक है, हमारा इन्वेस्टमेंट हो गया एफडी में पैसा डाल दिए, जमीन खरीद लिए, वो हमारे लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट है। इकोनॉमी के लिए इन्वेस्टमेंट है जीएफसीएफ। ठीक है, जीएफसीएफ इट कैन बी बोथ टेंजिबल एंड इनटेंजिबल। व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन टेंजिबल इंटेंजिबल? कोई एग्जांपल देंगे टेंजिबल का और इंटेंजिबल? यस, नॉर्मली टेंजिबल थिंग्स हैव फिजिकल फॉर्म, राइट? चेयर आप फैक्ट्री बना लिए, मशीन खरीद लिए, दीज आर टेंजिबल थिंग्स। सम ऑफ द एग्जांपल, यस, कैन बी मेजर्ड, कैन बी टच्ड, फिजिकल फॉर्म है जनरली। इनटेंजिबल, यस यस, सॉफ्टवेयर ऑल्सो। ठीक है, तो ये इनटेंजिबल पार्ट जो है, ये 2 बार एटलीस्ट यूपीएससी पूछ चुका है। एक बार तो कैपिटल, ह्यूमन कैपिटल के टर्म में, कि ह्यूमन कैपिटल इज इंटेंजिबल और टेंजिबल, ये पूछा जा चुका है। तो ऑफ कोर्स यू नो ह्यूमन कैपिटल इज इंटेंजिबल। आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हो, यहाँ से पढ़ के निकले, आपका कुछ नॉलेज बढ़ गया, तो वो कोई देख तो नहीं पा रहा है, ऐसे छूना चाहेगा तो देयर इज नो फिजिकल फॉर्म, इट्स देयर इनसाइड यू। ठीक है, दैट्स इंटेंजिबल। और ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन जो है, दिस इज ऑल्सो टेंजिबल एंड इंटेंजिबल। सो टेंजिबल हैव फिजिकल फॉर्म एंड intangible, okay, they do not have physical form. And examples of intangible are, for example, brand, ठीक है, पेटेंट, ट्रेडमार्क, ठीक है, आपका म्यूजिक का जो राइट्स है, etc. These things all are example of intangible. UPSC 2023 का आप क्वेश्चन खोल के देखिए। In 2023 what they asked is which of the following are examples of intangible assets. ठीक है, intangible assets का एग्जाम्पल डाला, और यही सब जो यूजुअल एग्जाम्पल्स जो आप लोग बोल रहे हैं, यही सब एग्जाम्पल्स ऑप्शन में थे। ठीक है, सो इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड एंड अगेन when I am telling you these things, just go back and do that check, क्योंकि जब तक आप खुद से क्वेश्चन में देखेंगे नहीं, तो मेरे बोलने का आप पर असर नहीं होगा। ठीक है, दिस इज बेसिक ह्यूमन थिंग। ठीक है, यू विल फॉरगेट इट, आप इसका इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं समझेंगे। सो गो बैक टू प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन, ओके, एंड चेक। जब आप क्वेश्चन पेपर में देखोगे तो यू विल रियलाइज कि हाँ भाई पूछता है। ठीक है, देन यू विल पे अटेंशन टू इट। ठीक है, तो ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन कैन बी टेंजिबल, इट कैन बी इंटेंजिबल। ठीक है, टेंजिबल का एग्जांपल शायद नहीं पूछेगा। टेंजिबल में बस आपको ये ध्यान रखना है कि लैंड इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ इट। ठीक है, तो जब भी वो कभी लैंड डालेगा तो लैंड इज नॉट पार्ट ऑफ इट, उसको आप ब्रैकेट में यू कैन राइट इट। ठीक है, तो उसमें नहीं फंसना है, बाकी सब ठीक है। तो ये बेसिक था ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन का। ओके, नाउ बॉन्ड, नहीं, वो ये नॉन फिनेंशियल है। ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन में था, दिस इज नॉन फिनेंशियल। एक बार आप बॉन्ड से पैसा निकाल के फैक्ट्री बना ली है, नाउ दैट फैक्ट्री इज पार्ट ऑफ ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन। ठीक है, तो आप पैसा यूज कर लिए तो फिर है, पर जब तक आप बस बॉन्ड लिए उस स्टेज पे नहीं है। ठीक है, तो जीडीपी को हम लिखते हैं बेसिक जीडीपी का डिफिनीशन है प्राइवेट फाइनल consumption expenditure. You know one thing, that GDP means what? GDP means whatever we produce in India. Final goods and services produced in a financial year. ठीक है, वो फाइनल होना चाहिए, it should be final. Intermediary goods ये सब नहीं होना चाहिए. ठीक है, final goods and services being produced. When something is produced, somebody is also buying it. ठीक है, वो खरीद रहा है उसको. ठीक है, तो that is, तो GDP को you can either write it as income approach, production approach, or you can write it in expenditure approach. So when we say GDP as expenditure approach, this is the formula. GDP is private final consumption expenditure, means expenditure by you and me. Okay. Okay. Ibrahim is asking that land is not tangible. Land is very much tangible. Okay. आप जाकर उस पर लौट सकते हैं. ठीक है. So that in that case it is tangible. Okay. But land is not produced asset. We have seen the definition. Gross fixed capital formation is a produced asset. Okay, it's not something which is God given. ठीक है, तो God given चीज नहीं है. It's produced asset. जो खुद से जंगल बढ़ रहा है, that is not part of gross fixed capital formation. आप जो plantation लगा रहे हो, that is part of gross, वो आपका asset है. ठीक है, तो should be very very clear. Produced asset is part of it. ठीक है. तो जीडीपी बाय एक्सपेंडिचर अप्रोच, प्राइवेट फाइनल कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर जो हमारा आपका खर्चा है. ठीक है, और क्या होगा, दूसरा एंटिटी है सरकार, गवर्नमेंट फाइनल कंजम्पशन एक्सपेंडिचर. तो ये दो तो कंजम्पशन का टाइप हो गया. वॉट एवर इज बीइंग प्रोड्यूस्ड, आइदर तो प्राइवेट पर्सन विल बाय, you and me, Tata, Ambani, Adani, everybody is here. Everybody is private final. Okay. If we are not buying it, then government is buying it. कोई तो खरीद रहा है. Okay. GDP third is, इसमें जो third part है कि if something is produced and you are not buying it, you are not consuming it, government is not consuming it, that means some property have been built. Okay, जिसको कि आप कंज्यूम नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है, तो that is investment. Okay, this investment is gross fixed capital formation. Okay, and the third, this is export minus import. Okay, so whatever is produced, तो आपका produce जो export हो रहा है, that is produced in India, so it will be counted in GDP. Okay, if you are exporting something, that will form part of GDP. If you are importing something, is that part of India's GDP? That is not part of India's GDP, because by definition, GDP means something which is produced within the physical boundary. Okay, GDP has nothing to do with your nationality, your citizenship. GDP have nothing to do with that. GDP have nothing to do with your residency status. ठीक है, तो Alia Bhatt is citizen of UK. Okay, so if Alia Bhatt is making movies in Mumbai and she is generating money, that is part of India's GDP. Okay, so it has nothing to do with citizenship. It has all to do with the boundary, physical boundary. India के अंदर जो produce हुआ. So whatever you are exporting, it was produced in India. GDP is about production. Essentially, GDP is not about consumption. आप कंज्यूम, आप जो है वो जर्मन कार चलाओ. Okay, but that German car is not part of India GDP. Okay, so whatever you are importing, you will subtract it. Whatever you are exporting, you will add it. Okay, so this is basic formula of GDP, and in this here is investment, gross fixed capital formation. Okay, so this is basic funda. एक चीज जो आजकल बहुत हल्ला चल रहा था, too much in news, that was India's reducing saving rate. Okay, the non-financial assets, financial assets, lot of debate was going on. We will not go into too much technicality of the debate today, but there is something basic which you should understand, that ultimately you have income. Okay, you pay taxes, it became disposable income. ठीक है, ओवरऑल तो इनकम जीडीपी का पार्ट है, आपका पैसा है, आपने सरकार को दे दिया, आपका डिस्पोजेबल इनकम बच गया. ठीक है, नाउ once you have the disposable income with you, okay, you can either go and enjoy your life. ठीक है, आप पार्टी करो, जो भी करना है करो, that becomes consumption. And the second is you save it. ठीक है, you save it by whatever instruments you save. ठीक है, या तो आप बैंक में डालो, शेयर मार्केट में डालो, जहाँ भी डालो, everything is form of saving. ठीक है, तो your disposable income, let's say it is Rs 100 rupees is your disposable income. It can either be consumed today or it can be saved. Okay, saving हो गया. यहां पर अगर सेम है डिस्पोजेबल इनकम, consumed today will increase GDP today. या today मतलब this year. Increase GDP this financial year. Saving, if you will save money, you will put it in bank. Bank will give loan to some industrialist, okay, or somebody. They will then go and invest. Okay, that means this investment, gross fixed capital formation, depends on saving rate. Okay, more you will save, more country will save, more will be the gross fixed capital formation. Okay, because you can invest only what you have saved. Clear? नहीं. ट्रांसफर पेमेंट में अगेन यू आर नॉट प्रोड्यूसिंग एनीथिंग, आपको पैसा मिल गया, यू आर नॉट प्रोड्यूसिंग, यू आर नॉट प्रोवाइडिंग एनी गुड्स और सर्विसेज इन रिटर्न. सो ट्रांसफर पेमेंट्स आर नॉट पार्ट ऑफ जीडीपी. ओके, सो व्हाट यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड इज कि leads to gross fixed capital formation. Okay, so this relation you should write in notebook. Increasing saving rate leads to increase in gross fixed capital formation, and this leads to increase in GDP in future. That's why there is so much hue and cry about saving rate. Okay, ये relation जो है, it is waiting to be asked because there are lots of debate. Okay, तो just आपको ये relation याद रखना है कि increasing saving rate leads to increase in gross fixed capital formation. Clear है सबको? फंडा clear है? Okay, तो बस आप ये relation याद रखिए. Okay, just तो ये relation आपको एग्जाम में आ सकता है. एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज़ ये है कि अभी उसके डिटेल में नहीं जा रहे, बट जस्ट टू टिकल योर ग्रे माइंड्स. ग्रे सेल यहाँ पर आप देखो कि पैसा वही है, आप कुछ पैसा आज जीडीपी बढ़ाने में लगा रहे हो और कुछ पैसा आप सेव कर रहे हो जो कि फ्यूचर जीडीपी बढ़ाने में लगा रहे हो. मतलब अगर आप इफ यू विल स्पेंड मोर मनी इन कंजम्पशन टुडे, दैट मीन्स यू आर जियोपार्डिंग द जीडीपी ग्रोथ रेट ऑफ फ्यूचर. आप आज ज़्यादा पैसा खर्च कर रहे हो कंज्यूम करने में, तो आज का जीडीपी आप बढ़ा रहे हो बट फ्यूचर का जीडीपी कम कर रहे हो. लेट्स से कि आप अपोजिट काम करते हो, लेट्स से यू सेव मोर. ओके, द इंडियन पेरेंट्स वी ऑलवेज हर्ड कि पैसे बचाओ पैसे बचाओ. सेव मोर, दैट मीन्स योर सेव्ड मनी विल बी इन्वेस्टेड टू क्रिएट ग्रॉस फिक्स्ड कैपिटल फॉर्मेशन लेटर. दैट विल लीड टू इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ लेटर, जीडीपी ग्रोथ बाद में. बट व्हाट अबाउट टुडे? आज आप समोसा नहीं खरीद रहे हो, आज आप समोसा नहीं खरीद रहे हो मतलब समोसा वाले का रोजगार नहीं चल रहा है, वो फिर अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को जॉब से निकालेगा. ठीक है, सो देयर इज अ ट्रेड ऑफ. ठीक है, आप दोनों चीज चाहते हो. यू वांट इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ इन प्रेजेंट ऑल्सो, यू वांट इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ इन फ्यूचर ऑल्सो, बट देयर इज ओनली सो मच ऑफ मनी. यू हैव टू डिवाइड बिटवीन द टू. हाउ मच शुड बी कंज्यूम्ड, हाउ मच शुड बी इन्वेस्टेड, दिस वी आर नॉट क्वालिफाइड इनफ टू till that number. Okay, that is for experts to discuss. Even they disagree, but you should understand the basic funda. ठीक है, तो this is this. नहीं, इंटरेस्ट रेट का थोड़ा ये इंटरेस्ट रेट कम करने से तो यहाँ बढ़ेगा, हाँ, और यहाँ भी बढ़ेगा. अगर अंबानी जी इंटरेस्ट रेट कम हुआ, वो लोन लेकर के फैक्ट्री बना रहे हैं, यहाँ भी बढ़ेगा. तो दैट डिपेंड्स कि इंटरेस्ट रेट कम हो रहा है तो लोन कौन ले रहा है. हम ले रहे हैं तो फिर हम तो ऐसे उड़ा दे रहे हैं, कोई और ले रहा है तो फिर वहाँ दैट डिपेंड्स. ठीक है, एग्जैक्टली वो डिपेंड करता है, बट दिस इज द बेसिक रिलेशन. ओके, this relation you should be very clear about. Gross fixed capital formation. ओके, लास्ट अब देख रहे हैं, बहुत छोटा सा है. ठीक है, बाकी जो बचा रहेगा 2-3 बच जाएगा, वो आपके पास नोट्स में है. यू कैन लुक एट दैट. ओके, एंड देन मे बी फिर से आएगा, जैसे एम्प्लॉयमेंट वाला विल नॉट बी एबल टू डू इट. ओके, बट स्लोली विल इंक्रीज द स्पीड. दैट इज फॉर ग्रांटेड. ओके, अभी क्लास खत्म करके जाते ही आई विल बी आस्क्ड कितना टॉपिक हुआ. ठीक है, तो वी हैव टू इंश्योर दैट. ठीक है, और आपके लिए भी अगर आप 3 घंटे बैठते हो तो आपका एक सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ टॉपिक्स तो होना चाहिए. ठीक है, तो स्लोली वी विल कैच अप द स्पीड. ठीक है, चलिए, एक रिपोर्ट आया था, अगेन दिस इज इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर प्रीलिम्स. रिपोर्ट, बस रिपोर्ट का क्या पूछता है कि रिपोर्ट में हु पब्लिशेस इट. ठीक है, दैट्स सिंपल, इससे ज़्यादा डिटेल में कभी नहीं जाता, जस्ट हु पब्लिशेस इट. ठीक है, और दूसरा ये कि अगर कोई इंपॉर्टेंट इंटरनेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशन है तो देन बेसिक फैक्ट अबाउट दैट. ठीक है, आपको एक्सपर्ट नहीं बनना, मोटा मोटा कि वेयर इज द हेडक्वार्टर, हु आर द मेंबर्स, वेदर इंडिया इज ए मेंबर और नॉट. ओके, सो फॉर एग्जांपल वी हैव एशियन डेवलपमेंट आउटलुक रिपोर्ट. दिस इज द लास्ट टॉपिक फॉर टुडे. Asian development okay, Asian Development Outlook Report 2024. This was published by, can you guess? नाम में कुछ है, ADB, right? So Asian Development Outlook Report was produced by Asian Development Bank, not AIIB. ठीक है, yes, Ganesh, you were right. Okay, so not AIIB, बस इसी में confusion हो सकता है, बाकी mostly confusion नहीं होगा. तो so this is published by Asian Development Bank. That's it about this report. Now we have to know some basic fundamental about Asian development banks. Okay, I guess if I remember right, AIIB have already been asked. या मुझे याद नहीं आ रहा है ADB पूछा है कि नहीं. ठीक है, so now some basic facts about Asian development bank. ADB हेडक्वार्टर कहाँ पर है इसका? Anybody would say Asian Development Bank, what is the headquarter? धर्मा तेजा and others. गणेश, आप लोग ADB का हेडक्वार्टर कहाँ है? Okay, I'm giving you 2 options. ठीक है, चलिए, I'll give you 3 options. 2 में गेम इजी हो जाएगा. Okay, I'm just telling you country. Okay, I'm not going to city level. China, Philippines, or Japan? Philippines, right? So yes, Mani, you are right. Okay, so Philippines. Okay, so Asian Development Bank ADB goes Philippines, Manila. Okay, so they can go till Manila level. ठीक है, they can ask you Manila. तो मनीला इसका हेडक्वार्टर है. ADB 68 members, इतना मेंबर लेवल शायद नहीं पूछेगा. Okay, but what you have to know is members can be from outside the Asia also. So this is Asian Development Bank, but it does not mean that all the members are from Asia. Okay, so 69 members even from outside Asia. For example, USA is a member. Okay, USA is not just a member, USA is largest shareholder. Japan and USA, they are मतलब दोनों का equal share है 15 point something %. Okay, so Japan and USA both are equal shareholders. Okay, so shareholding Japan and USA same है. After that China, and after that we have India. ठीक है, तो चाइना का अबाउट 6.4% शेयर है, इंडिया का 6.3. ठीक है, तो लगभग बराबर सा शेयर है. ओके, सो एशियन डेवलपमेंट बैंक इंडिया इज 4th लार्जेस्ट शेयर होल्डर. तो वो 4th लार्जेस्ट नॉर्मली नहीं बोलेगा, वो 1st लार्जेस्ट, 2nd लार्जेस्ट ऐसे करके बोलेगा. अगर वो ऑप्शन में इफ विल गिव यू इन प्रीलिम्स ऑप्शन, दे विल से इंडिया इज द 2nd लार्जेस्ट. 1st लार्जेस्ट बोलेगा तो सब समझ जाएगा गलत बोल रहा है. ठीक है, दे विल गो फॉर दैट. ओके, एशियन डेवलपमेंट बैंक इंडिया इज द 4th लार्जेस्ट शेयर होल्डर. Okay, and India is founding member. Okay, Asian Development Bank का. So बस these basic informations are being asked, nothing much. बस इतना सा, इतना यही जो बेसिक चीज़ है. अच्छा, एक रिलेटेड चीज़ है, ये एशियन डेवलपमेंट बैंक है, एक है AIIB, एशियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंक, AIIB. ठीक है, वी विल डिस्कस इट इन डिटेल सम टाइम लेटर. ओके, आई एम जस्ट आस्किंग यू कि AIIB का हेडक्वार्टर कहाँ है. ऑप्शंस आर अगेन सेम. नहीं, चाइना. ठीक है, तो बीजिंग में है. ठीक है, AIIB एशियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंक का जो है वो इनफैक्ट ADB को काउंटर करने के लिए है. ठीक है, कि ADB में USA प्राइम शेयर होल्डर है, USA और ये जापान मिला के 30% है. उसको काउंटर करने के लिए AIIB, एशियन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट बैंक. और AIIB में क्या है कि इंडिया इज द 2nd लार्जेस्ट शेयर होल्डर. ओके, दैट्स व्हाई AIIB बिकम्स इंपॉर्टेंट. कि इट्स चाइना नंबर 1 है एंड AIIB ये जो है, यस, चाइना इज नंबर 1, यू आर राइट, and this is the 2nd largest. Okay, clear हो गया. ठीक है, ठीक है. अब ठीक है, आपको कभी कोई डाउट हो तो यू कैन जस्ट इधर आप पर्सनली मिल सकते हैं या फिर आपको यू कैन राइट इन टेलीग्राम चैनल. ओके, टेलीग्राम चैनल जो ऑनलाइन देख रहे हैं, सो इट्स पिन्ड होगा कहीं पर, सो यू कैन ज्वाइन टेलीग्राम चैनल एंड देन यू कैन राइट इट. Okay, thank you everybody, and tomorrow we have a reading session. Okay, and again फिर से Friday, but Friday को कुछ और टॉपिक होगा. मंथ में एक बार, मोस्टली 2nd फ्राइडे, मंथ का 2nd फ्राइडे विल बी इकोनॉमी करंट अफेयर्स राउंड अप. एंड डू मेक फोल्डर्स. ठीक है, और नोट्स बनाते चलिए, नहीं तो फिर बाद में दिमाग का दही हो जाएगा. ठीक है, मतलब मार्केट से आप नोट्स उठाएंगे तो इट्स अ वेरी डिफिकल्ट जॉब. अभी धीरे धीरे आपका बनता जाएगा, बाद में यू कैन सी अदर नोट्स एंड यू कैन डू वैल्यू एडिशन. अदरवाइज फिर ट्रिकी जॉब. तो लंबा जर्नी है, डिफिकल्ट जर्नी है, बट करने पर मज़ा भी आएगा. चलिए, ऑल द बेस्ट.